Chapter 285. This coffin was too similar to Su Yan's Snow Mountain Dragon coffin. Their auras were almost identical. The only difference was that the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin's coffin was blood red, while this coffin was golden. The golden coffin was surrounded by a sacred aura, as if it was a sacred object of the world. It floated above the ancient temple, bathing in immortal light. Su Yan was shocked. What kind of situation was this? First, the collision of the Milky Way and Sky River resulted in the creation here. This was the land of creation of the true dragon's lair. However, the immortal light that was born fell on the coffin as if it was nourishing it. Is there a living creature in this coffin? Su Yan's expression was uncertain. Back then, he slept in the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin for 100 years. Now that he encountered such a situation, he could not help but feel nervous. Could this coffin be related to the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin? Su Yan pondered for a moment. Then, he threw the black chain in his hand onto the coffin floating in the ancient temple. Clang! The black chain smashed onto the coffin. The heavenly coffin trembled involuntarily. It swayed as if it would fall from the sky at any moment. Seeing that there was no danger, Su Yan also jumped up and stood on the coffin. Standing on it, Su Yan's entire body was glowing. Due to the collision of the Yin-Yang Sky River, the immortal light that fell down sprinkled onto Su Yan's body. At this moment, his body was glowing as if he was bathing in the light of the great Tao. His body's weakness was being nourished. This was the fusion of Yin and Yang. The power of creation that was born poured down and penetrated Su Yan's body, causing his entire body to be resplendent to the extreme. Su Yan could not help but roar. His hair danced in the wind and his entire body was roaring. This was the embodiment of heaven-defying. His body greedily absorbed the yin-yang aura. This aura had a similar effect to the yin-yang fish. It excavated his body's divine treasures and made up for the deficiencies of his body. 1. Su Yan was like a burning furnace, blazing and rolling as he bathed in the power of the Yin-Yang Sky River. He sat down fiercely and was incomparably excited. This was a great opportunity, and he never thought he would encounter such an opportunity. He had a premonition that if he cultivated here for a period of time, he would transform and become extremely powerful. Moreover, under the nourishment of this gas, the primordial power of his physical body began to climb. Comfortable, too comfortable. Every cell in his body was exuding joy. This kind of gas was quite heaven-defying. Strands of it converged into Su Yan's body, nourishing his damaged constitution and potential. Su Yan's physique was like a shattered ceramic. Every time a small part of it was nourished, his corporeal body's divine treasure would become a little more exuberant, and the divine power that was excavated would become a little more ferocious. It was as though he could really penetrate the heavens. Just like that, Su Yan sat cross-legged on the heavenly coffin, silently stealing the power of fortune. At the same time, his life spring began to stir. This godly energy nourished his life spring, causing it to expand continuously. As the celestial essence stone continued to burn, his life spring was filled with immanent God power. I can break through now. Su Yan was pleasantly surprised. The divine power gate formed by his life spring continued to expand, giving birth to immanent God power. As time passed, his life spring continued to expand. This was an extremely heaven-defying manifestation. From level 8 to level 9 of the divine power realm, one's immanent God power would almost double. This also caused too many resources to be exhausted. Su Yan had quite a lot of celestial essence stones on him. Piles of celestial essence stones rolled onto the heavenly coffin. He sat cross-legged on the small mountain of celestial essence stones and crazily absorbed the godly energy contained within the celestial essence stones. Su Yan wanted to cultivate to level 9 of the divine power realm in one go. By then, once his corporeal body and life spring were complete, He could use the fortune here to support his Dharma form and step into the Dharma form realm in one go. He sucked in large mouthfuls of the celestial essence chi, and even his pores were absorbing it. Su Yen didn't realize that the heavenly coffin was glowing faintly and was stealing the godly energy contained within the celestial essence stones. Just like that, half a day passed. Su Yan's corporeal body continued to strengthen. Although it was a little slow, every time he strengthened in this realm, more potential would be unearthed. As for Su Yan's life spring, it had already touched the shackles. He felt that he could break through soon. As he sucked, Su Yan was stunned. The massive amount of celestial essence dispersed. He opened his eyes and found that there was powder all over the heavenly coffin. This made his face darken. He said, "How is this possible? I took out more than 500 kilograms of celestial essence stones just now. How could it be used up in just half a day?" Su Yan scanned his surroundings suspiciously. Soon after, he was quick-witted and quickly got up. He looked at the heavenly coffin seriously and almost forgot about it. Could it be that the heavenly coffin had stolen the godly energy of his celestial essence stones? Could there really be living creatures in here? Su Yen pondered for a while and reached out his hand to lift the lid. A wisp of Dali attacked. The lid rumbled and released a golden light. This scene made him happy. The lid could be lifted, but it was different from the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin. The Snow Mountain Dragon coffin required the beginning sutra to lift it. Su Yen used all his strength to lift the lid. He lifted it quite a bit. However, there seemed to be a hand holding onto the lid. Su Yen could not lift it for a while. Could there really be living things inside? Could it be those things outside that are neither human nor ghost? Su Yen took out his natal cauldron and smashed it at the lid. The coffin rumbled as though it was about to split open. Su Yen saw that there was hope. He lifted his natal cauldron to smash the lid again. However, Su Yan's expression changed. The natal cauldron was stuck to the lid. There was a suction force that sucked in the natal cauldron, preventing him from lifting it up, and what shocked him was that the natal cauldron lit up on its own. It tilted down and a vast natal star radiance gathered in the coffin. Not good. Su Yan's expression changed. This broken coffin was absorbing the natal chi in his natal cauldron. If it continued, his supreme-grade astral physique would be completely depleted. It might even be destroyed. This was his natal treasure. Once it was destroyed, Su Yan's vitality would be greatly damaged. Stop! Su Yan's aura soared to the extreme. He was like a divine king of Dali. He waved his fist and smashed the lid of the coffin. He punched again and again. No matter how sturdy the heavenly coffin was, Su Yan's punches caused it to tremble. "Kid, are you trying to disturb my meditation?" The golden coffin spoke in a dignified voice. "You dare attack my cave abode? Little guy, you sure have guts." A terrifying aura emanated, causing the entire ancient temple to tremble. This made Su Yan's hair stand on end. There was really someone inside, and he was even speaking. "Get lost immediately. If you weren't a disciple of the Big Dipper clan, I would have suppressed you for 10,000 years. His voice carried an unquestionable tone as he berated Su Yen and told him to leave. Su Yen was truly worried. This was too strange. However, he keenly discovered that the golden coffin was trembling slightly. This made Su Yan's heart turn cold. The Big Dipper's 7 stars fist erupted in a flash, and 6 punches were produced in succession. Boom! Su Yen pushed all of his fighting strength and ruthlessly smashed it down. The heavenly coffin trembled and the lid caved in. Su Yan's punch was quite astonishing. It could even shatter the materialization divine weapon and blast through the coffin lid. "What are you doing? How dare you attack my cave abode?" The creature in the coffin was shaken. It shouted angrily, "What a good junior! This noble one has roamed the universe for countless years. Even the divine kings have to bow down in worship. You actually dare to be rude to me." Su Yen continued to throw punch after punch, completely ignoring the living being in the coffin. He continued to smash the coffin lid with all his might. Junior, you are uncivilized. You ambushed me while I was injured. Stop hitting me. The golden coffin swayed, and it looked like it was about to be pierced through. Hand over my treasure, you pretentious guy. If you don't crawl out, I will tear down your coffin lid. Su Yan was still waving his fists, causing the golden coffin to tremble continuously. In the end, he admitted defeat. The natal cauldron left the coffin and flew to the top of Su Yan's head, its power greatly reduced. Su Yan swung his fists and punched again. This made the golden coffin almost vomit blood. He roared, "Kid, you have to be honest and honest. I have already given it to you. Why don't you stop? If you continue to target me, don't blame me for being impolite. If you come out, I will not target you. If you want to attack me, then do it. I really want to see how strong you are," Su Yan said disdainfully. He felt that the creature in the coffin was very weak. "The coffin is me. I am the coffin. I am the spirit of the immortal coffin," the golden coffin replied. Su Yan's face darkened. How could he believe that a broken coffin could become an immortal? He once again used the Big Dipper fist, brandished his fist, and smashed it, wanting to blast the coffin apart. "Damn it, you are so stubborn. I admit defeat. I surrender." The golden coffin turned black. He was so angry that his body was shaking. "Take the black chain away. Don't let it near me. Take it away." The black chain. Su Yan's expression changed. The black chain could restrain the golden coffin? His face was full of suspicion. He picked up the black chain. The moment it left the coffin, the golden coffin shone brightly. It was as if it had turned into a terrifying dragon and attacked Su Yan. "You're revolting." Su Yan's eyes widened. His body seemed to be made of divine gold. He was wearing the astral battle armor and circulating the tyrant body art. His body was full of energy. The golden coffin quickly calmed down and said in a deep voice, "You are not bad. You have passed my test. I can accept you as my disciple. To tell you the truth, I am the Silver Dragon King. Silver, your sister. He has been dead for hundreds of thousands of years." Su Yan's face was filled with disbelief. This punch came crashing down, wanting to shatter the golden coffin. "Stop fighting. I'll come out. I'll come out." The golden coffin was anxious. It was afraid that Su Yan's punch would damage it again. In the next moment, Su Yan was stunned because the golden coffin had disappeared. In its place was a creature covered in silver light. It was difficult to see its appearance. The silver creature also saw Su Yan. Its silver pupils shone with an extremely intense radiance. "It's you." Chapter 286. "What? You recognize me now?" The silver creature held its hands behind its back with the appearance of a peerless expert and said proudly, "Let me tell you, it's too late now. You were targeting me just now. Humph, brat, even if your parents come, they won't be able to protect you." The silver creature didn't get to be arrogant for long before it was knocked down to the ground by Su Yan's fist. After a round of beating, Su Yan angrily said, "You still dare to trick me? I think you really won't shed tears until you see the coffin. Pretending to be garlic in front of me. Stop hitting me, stop hitting me. Brat, you're crazy." The silver creature was beaten by Su Yan until it let out a sound like a pig being butchered. The silver radiance on its body was about to disperse as it cried out miserably, "Do you know who I am? You're trying to kill me as soon as you come up. Quickly let go, quickly let go. Little guy, what do you want?" The silver creature didn't utter a word. Its eyes were filled with fear. Su Yan took out the black chain to tie it up. "I think you're not being honest, so I'll lock you up right now." Su Yan's response made the silver creature so angry that it said with a trembling voice, "Hero, let's talk nicely. What do you want to say? Don't fight and kill. We're all civilized people, this is a disgrace to civilization." Hurry up, obediently reveal your true form. Su Yan's tone was fierce. At the same time, he pulled the black chain closer to the silver creature. The silver creature had no choice but to yield. The silver radiance on its body dispersed, and its true appearance was revealed. Su Yan was stunned. He scratched his head and said in a low voice, "Sigh, I understand. Hurry up and disguise yourself. Brat, you dare to insult me!" Its pair of silver eyes had turned red, and a faint rolling mist filled the air. It flapped its bare wings, wanting to fight Su Yan to the death. Su Yan was very puzzled. This was a big rooster. Although its skin was silver, it was completely naked. This was too ugly. It glared at Su Yan with its bean-sized silver eyes. It was very angry and resentful. "No one insulted you." Su Yan quickly shook his head. "You brat, what's wrong with your eyes?" The big rooster was so angry that it floated in the air. It flapped its wings and pointed at Su Yan, correcting him. "I am a godly phoenix. Do you know what kind of creature a godly phoenix is?" "Ha ha ha, if a godly phoenix were to grow up to be like you, Baokai would be the ancestor of all beasts. As the saying goes, you can't judge a book by its cover. Don't take it to heart." Su Yan was almost cramping up from laughing. This bald cheapskate was a godly phoenix? What miser! I'm really an immortal phoenix. It was so angry that its whole body was trembling. It said angrily, "Kid, I advise you to be more respectful to me. Do you know who I am? You'll be scared to death if I tell you. Even the deity kings have to kowtow to me. Miser, I think you need to be taught a lesson. If you don't lay an egg for me now, I will definitely not forgive you." Su Yan waved the black chain and walked towards the cheapskate. His words were unbearable for the cheapskate. It screamed like a pig being slaughtered. "You insulted me! You better be honest and tell me the truth," Su Yan urged. "Time is limited. If you don't tell me your origin, I won't be merciful." At this moment, the Milky Way trembled. The black river that was as black as ink and the blazing golden heavenly river were intertwined in the first place. But now they were starting to separate. This scene shocked Su Yan. The cheapskate's expression changed. "Oh no, they are going to separate. I've waited for countless years for the yin and yang to merge. What are you doing?" The cheapskate was furious. Su Yan picked it up and threatened, "Tell me the truth, or you can forget about absorbing the creation. Are you crazy? This is a supreme opportunity, and it will disappear soon." The cheapskate was extremely anxious. "Let me go, you can't absorb the creation without me." Hearing this, Su Yan frowned. He looked up at the sky and realized that the immortal light was no longer pouring down. What was going on? "How about this, let's work together, and I'll give you a share of the creation," the cheapskate said anxiously. "If you hesitate any longer, the creation will really disappear. You will regret it for the rest of your life." Su Yan lowered his head and thought for a while, then let it go. Buzz. The cheapskate flapped its wings and flew into the sky. Moreover, it was mumbling something, and its expression gradually became serious. It even moved its chicken claws majestically, like a rooster, and began to walk back and forth in the void. It was like a charlatan, shaking its head and spitting out a large number of ancient words. These words revolved around the cheapskate. Under Su Yan's gaze, the cheapskate disappeared. The scene was a bit strange. The cheapskate turned into a golden coffin, lying under the Milky Way. This thing contained a strange divine power. Whether it was the extreme Yin River, the extreme Yang River, or the coffin, it was like a special pattern. When they were arranged together, Su Yan found that the three seemed to have merged into one. What kind of secret technique was this? It was too strange. In short, when the golden coffin appeared, the yin-yang Milky Way sprinkled down immortal light and blended with it. This. Su Yan quickly jumped up and asked, "What kind of secret technique is this? Quickly pass it to me. You won't be able to learn it even if I give it to you. This is something I researched for countless years. With your cultivation, You will die of old age with just a glance. As soon as the cheapskate's voice was heard, Su Yen took out the black chain and threatened it. It shook the golden coffin angrily and said, "This is a forbidden technique. It won't do you any good if you learn it. It will bring about a great disaster. Now we should work together sincerely and seek opportunities together. There is no infighting." Su Yan's heart was heavy. The heavenly coffin that the cheapskate turned into was very similar to the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin. Then, he noticed that the yin-yang Milky Way was beginning to separate. His expression changed. Su Yen also needed the divine power contained in the yin-yang Milky Way to push the potential of the divine realm to another level. Now, he could only cultivate in seclusion. Su Yen calmed down and returned to his cultivation state. It's time for me to break through. Su Yan's divine art gate, which was formed from his life spring, was already ready to move. He took out the Heaven's Essence stone and refined it once again. A large amount of Heaven's Essence was absorbed by him, and Su Yan's ninth divine art secret door had finally opened its last shackle. Boom! The divine power overflowed like a tide. The divine realm power was vast and boundless. It was as if a corner of the ocean was opened. Waves of turbulent air currents filled the entire ancient palace. After reaching the ninth heaven of the divine realm, Su Yan's life spring evolved to the extreme. It was filled with a divine aura. His life spring was as mysterious as a huge dojo. There were all kinds of markings in it that looked like a human figure. These markings seemed to have been revived. They were filled with a prehistoric aura. It was as if there were many ancient deities that walked out from the desolate era and were about to rule the world. Why is his life spring so strange? There are so many terrifying markings? Could he be the descendant of a true immortal? The cheapskate thought to himself. He was very surprised as he couldn't see through Su Yan's life spring. Even when Su Yan reached the ninth heaven of the divine realm, his body and life spring awakened at the same time. At that moment, the initial scripture was activated. The moment the life spring and the power of his body merged into one, a blurry and majestic chaotic ocean appeared behind him. In the chaotic ocean, there were many figures that stood in the past and present. They were looking at the present and the future. Su Yan understood. His body and life spring had merged into one and appeared in the form of Dharma form. What kind of vision is this? Duke Tai was suspicious. He said, "You want to reach the Dharma form realm? I advise you to slow down a bit." The cheapskate wanted to slap himself after saying that. How could he help his enemy? "I didn't plan to break through." Su Yan opened his eyes. His face was filled with joy. He could still continue to increase his potential. Then, he retracted his vision. His body started to absorb the celestial light that descended from the yin-yang celestial river. Strands of celestial light entered his body. Su Yan's immortal divine treasury was blazing. It was like the sea of reincarnation was shining. This kind of energy was too special. It had a nourishing effect on Su Yan. Su Yan even took out the yin-yang fish and started to eat it. The power of creation from the yin-yang celestial river combined with the yin-yang fish made the effect even better. "You have yin-yang fish? Give me a few thousand." The cheapskate demanded an exorbitant price. Su Yan wanted to beat him up. "A few thousand? Give me the myriad heavens divine arts." Su Yan replied, "You little brat, what do you think the myriad heavens divine arts are? You now have the fortune that everyone dreams of. It is enough for you to look down on the world in the divine arts secret realm. Ingjie, can you get it without me? What is a few yin-yang fish? Hurry up and give it to me." The golden coffin was so angry that it turned black. Seeing that Su Yan didn't reply, the cheapskate kept silent for a while. He then laughed and said, "Let's talk nicely. I will give you a great divine art. Let's make a deal. Give me 3 yin-yang fish. 1 divine ability in exchange for 1. Su Yan offered. F*ck, you are too greedy. I will raise the price. 5 for 1. The cheapskate said angrily. Don't think that Yang fish is precious. There are plenty of them in the Yang River. Su Yen couldn't be bothered with him. The fish in the Yang River, other than the school of fish, were all taken away by him. Su Yen sat cross-legged on the golden coffin. Yang Qi surged in his body and nourished his potential with Yin Qi. His body was burning with a blazing light. The divine power contained in his body was terrifying. It started to grow stronger and faster. He ate another pair of yin-yang fish, and the speed of his awakening was even faster. Su Yan's muscles started to tremble in excitement. Deal. The cheapskate passed a great divine art to Su Yan after holding it in for a long time. No. This yin-yang fish is too precious to me. I am not trading. Su Yan's head was like a rattledrum. F*ck. The cheapskate was so angry that his whole body was trembling. Brat, if you don't give it to me, I will take away the secret art immediately. You will not be able to obtain any fortunes. Seeing that Su Yan still didn't say anything, the cheapskate was really at his wits' end. He begged bitterly, saying good things and taking out the true dragon claw in exchange for a pair of yin-yang fish. Su Yan looked at his pitiful appearance and reluctantly took out a pair of yin-yang fish. The cheapskate was so angry that he couldn't speak. Although the yin-yang fish was precious, its value was not comparable to a great divine art. Moreover, this was the true dragon claw. Here, found it. At this moment, the two fish kings had already disappeared without a trace. However, many people had come to the tunnel. Shui Guan and the others killed their way here and saw a tunnel that led directly to the Land of Fortune. The Land of Fortune, we are here. The various prodigies were excited. These people rushed in quickly, but they were killed the moment they stepped into the tunnel. All of them screamed continuously. After all, they had suffered heavy losses during the search. Now, some of the prodigies were having a hard time enduring. Chapter 287. After swallowing 5 pairs of yin-yang fish, a vast amount of Tai-yin and Tai-yang qi rose from Su Yan's body. When he was bathed in the divine light from the yin-yang celestial river, Su Yan's entire body shone with divine light. Because the divine power contained within was too strong, he felt like he was going to explode. Ah! Su Yan stood on the golden coffin and roared into the sky. His black hair danced wildly. His entire body seemed to have transformed into an ancient Taiji diagram that was shrouded in a terrifying light, causing the world to turn golden and resplendent. Aren't you afraid of dying from overeating? You ate so many yin-yang fishes. Miserly Rooster was extremely jealous and said, "Damn it! There's no justice in this world. How can a divine realm have such a strong body? Could it be that the potential of the body can be awakened?" As soon as Miserly Rooster finished speaking, Su Yan's body rumbled, as if he was carrying the yin and yang celestial rivers. When they collided, an unparalleled divine power was born and mixed in Su Yan's body. Su Yan's body seemed to have disappeared and turned into a furnace. He circulated the beginning scripture and his body was like the universe, stealing the fortune of heaven and earth and devouring the essence of heaven and earth. Yin and yang were the tools and fortune was the furnace. It was a coincidence that Su Yan encountered a great opportunity. This cultivation method was perfectly suitable for the profound meaning hidden in the beginning scripture. Swish, swish. Inside Su Yan's treasure body, the primitive aura was awakening. It was as if the supreme god power of the desolate era had been awakened inside Su Yan's treasure body. It was like a primordial true dragon. This was because the yin and yang qi nourished the primordial divine power. Su Yan couldn't help but stretch out his limbs. At this moment, he had changed. He was like a primordial true dragon stretching out. As his heart rumbled and the light of his natal divine ability surged, Su Yan's 4 limbs seemed to have opened up a small world and turned into the 4 poles of the universe. What was this? This was the next level up of Su Yan's intrinsic divine power. His limbs were circulating with a divine power that could split open the heavens. Although his intrinsic divine power had yet to be born, Su Yan's entire body was surging with a terrifying primordial light. This also caused a portion of Su Yan's incomplete physique to be repaired. Su Yan's entire body was relaxed. He raised his head to the sky and roared. The blurry sea of primal chaos behind him became much clearer. The space that filled it was distorted. One could imagine how frightening it was. Buzz. His potential had been unlocked, and the divine treasures in his body had been dug out. The blood essence in Su Yan's body instantly surged fiercely. His back was undulating like a primordial dragon. Suddenly, a stream of blood essence drilled out and penetrated Su Yan's skull. It rose from the ground with a momentum that reached the heavens. There was a terrifying might that could pierce through the heavens. Miserly Rooster didn't say anything, secretly cursing. Although some people in the divine power secret realm could cultivate to the extent of monstrous divine power, what was going on with the divine power in Su Yan's body now? It was almost piercing through the heavens. Su Yan's aura could swallow the rivers and mountains. His overall power was overwhelming. At this moment, he really looked like a young supreme being who was accumulating his strength. This was the divine power that filled the void and soared to the heavens. Su Yan's divine power was even more monstrous than what Xixia Fairy had said. This could barely be counted as piercing through the heavens. So strong. Su Yan's face was full of joy. The divine power secret realm of the ninth heaven. At this moment, his divine power secret realm and his body's secret realm were all in a perfect state. In an instant, he could recover his peerless combat strength. Someone is coming. The golden coffin lid clanged. Miserly Rooster was sending a signal. At the same time, the coffin's speed of absorbing yin and yang qi became faster. Rolling immortal light sprinkled in the coffin, nourishing Miserly Rooster's body. The coffin's speed gradually changed, faintly emitting a magnificent power. Su Yan suddenly closed his eyes. His primordial spirit in his frontal bone was transparent. The Sutra of the Future automatically recited. Su Yan's primordial spirit seemed to be sitting cross-legged in the future, watching the past and present. He borrowed the power of the Sutra of the Future to steal a trace of great power. He faintly observed a kind of terrible power returning to its original position. What's the origin of this guy? Su Yan was horrified. He couldn't help but feel the horror of the situation here. Yin and Yang were originally standing on opposite sides, but Miserly Rooster evolved a strange secret technique to steal great fortune. Su Yan was also a beneficiary. They're coming. Su Yan perceived with his primordial spirit that there were more than a dozen powerful creatures approaching this place. Those who had broken into this place were not weak, but they were all in a miserable state. They were as thin as a match, almost becoming skin and bones. Although they had lost a lot of energy, their combat strength was still very strong. Only Shueguan was still in good condition. His combat strength was great to begin with, so when he made his way through Yin-Yang River, he didn't suffer too much damage. At this moment, they had already broken into the underground palace, currently heading towards the ancient palace Su Yan's group was in. These people were also on guard against each other. They had already found the land of natural luck, but who would give it up on a silver platter? This was especially the case with Shueguan's combat strength. When faced with this type of natural luck, he definitely wouldn't give it up. Right when they were about to slaughter their way into the ancient palace, a strand of terrifying aura swept over. It was desolate and grand, as if a divine king had awakened here. It surrounded Shueguan's group. Could it be that there is a divine king here? Someone's teeth were chattering. His eyes were full of horror, not daring to step into the ancient palace. It was because they had encountered a few corpses along the way. They determined that they were all top-level experts when they were alive, but they all fell here. Could it be that there was still an old antique alive here? Shui Guan's group's breathing became heavy. This aura was too real. However, since they had already come, they weren't willing to back down. They all wanted to enter the ancient palace. Who dares disturb this great one's meditation? An aged voice suddenly sounded. It contained the desolation of the endless ages. The voice was like the ringing of a great yellow bell, as if it was transmitted from the future. It contained a supreme divine charm, and when it landed on the ground, it was like a clap of thunder. Tian Peng's group was frightened badly. Could this really be the cave of an old antique? After enduring for more than 100,000 years, it still hadn't gone extinct. Shui Guan was very calm. One could see just how confident he was. He walked forward, bowed and said, "This junior is Shui Guan. I do not wish to disturb senior's meditation. I hope senior can forgive me. This junior really wants to see senior's dragon face. Could you allow this junior to enter and take a look?" Ha 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 ha. The aged voice became even more majestic. It recovered its vitality and let out a loud laughter. In that instant the ancient palace rumbled. After images appeared one after another in the void. They were all exuberant, archaic true dragon energy that swept out. Shui Guan and the others were suffocating. They felt their hair stand on end. Was this really a living old monster? You little fellows are not bad. You can pass through the Yinyang River in such a short time and find the Yinyang Tunnel. It seems like you are fated to be with this old man. The aged voice sounded faintly. It contained a majestic dragon's might. It said in an admiring tone, "I don't have much time left. I want to leave behind some orthodoxy. Who wants to come forward and accept it?" Nine Sun's divine son hurriedly walked forward and said loudly, "Senior, this junior is willing to accept your orthodoxy. In the future, I will carry it forward and establish a sect. I will definitely not disgrace your legacy." "Oh no, divine ability!" Lei Guang and the others hurriedly walked forward. Whether it was true or not, they wanted to try. Only a few people didn't move. They were a little suspicious. They wondered if there was really a big shot who was about to pass away. "There's no hurry. You people barely qualify." The aged voice echoed. Its words were distant and grand. It appeared here. "Shui Guan, take 3 steps forward. I see that your combat strength is strong and you have cultivated the supreme qi. It seems that you have cultivated an extraordinary technique. Let me see how strong your potential is." Shui Guan frowned. Although he was a little suspicious, he still walked forward. The group of people became anxious, especially Nine Sun's divine son, who was like a loudspeaker. He said, "Senior, this Shui Guan has obtained the inheritance of a mighty figure. He is not suitable to receive your inheritance. Why don't you choose someone else? Senior, what do you think of me?" Everyone looked at Shui Guan. They were also doubting whether the rumors were reliable. "Oh, the inheritance of a mighty figure? Which mighty figure's inheritance is it? Tell me the name. I might be familiar with it." The aged voice surged like a tide. It contained the vast aura of a primordial true dragon. It resounded in their ears, making Lei Guang and the others surprised. "This old monster is a mighty figure?" Shui Guan was silent for a while. He raised his head and stared at the door of the ancient palace. He said calmly, "Senior, I sincerely want to see your true appearance. Can you allow me to?" Nine Sun's divine son and the others looked uncertain. Does this Shui Guan really have a peerless foundation? Is he not afraid of the anger of the mysterious powerhouse? "Good, young man. You have guts." The old voice said with a smile, "You're not bad. You're truly a newborn calf that isn't afraid of a tiger. Since you insist on coming in, then come. I also want to see which fellow Taoist you are as a disciple of another generation." Lei Guang and the others didn't dare to say anything. "Is it really a mighty figure?" "Of course. The aged voice sounded again with a hint of coldness. If you can't open the door of the ancient palace, I don't mind teaching you how to respect your elders on behalf of your master. Haha, Supreme Shuiguan, why don't you rush in and see the power of a mighty figure? Nine Suns Divine Sun laughed. Shuiguan hesitated when he heard that. However, he was bold and had a peerless foundation. He could even take out a decree of a mighty figure. He actually got up and walked in. The more he acted like this, the more the geniuses were afraid of Shuiguan. This person must have an unfathomable foundation. Then, everyone was stunned. Shuiguan tried his best to open the door of the ancient palace, but it was opened so easily. This? Saintess Ziwei and the others were stunned. What was going on? Damn, what kind of trick are you playing? You are so unreliable. Miser Rooster's angry voice sounded. I told you to delay them for a while. Look at what you did. Can you blame me for this? Or is it because you are not strong enough? Your tricks are too lousy. Su Yan said with a dark face, It has nothing to do with me. You still blame me? I suppressed them when they came in just now. Are you addicted to pretending to be a mighty figure? Don't try to be a porcelain doll if you can't do it. The two of them quarreled, and their words spread outside. Outside the ancient palace, more than a dozen miserable geniuses stood there. They were so angry that their stomachs hurt. Chapter 288. The entire ancient palace began to rumble. Undisguised killing intent was released and swept through the entire ancient palace. Shuiguan and the others were infuriated. Their severely damaged bodies burst out with resplendent divine light as they rushed into the ancient palace one after another. They really wanted to know what was inside the ancient palace and what kind of fortunes were left behind. The moment they arrived, they were stunned by the scene in the ancient palace. They looked up and saw two heavenly rivers floating above the ancient palace. They were like two yin-yang fish revolving around the ancient palace. Kacha! An ear-piercing sound appeared. It was a regrettable scene. The yin-yang heavenly river began to separate, and the fortune disappeared. If the yin-yang heavenly river could merge again and give birth to the fortune, who knew how long it would take? Shuiguan and the others couldn't see through the layout of this place. They didn't know what kind of fortune existed here. The true dragon's nest had been sealed for tens of thousands of years. They couldn't guess what the ancient palace had experienced in these 2 days. Boom! Just as they were lost in thought, the entire ancient palace went berserk. The aura of the immemorial true dragon poured out. The topography of this place was triggered and filled the entire ancient palace. However, what kind of people were Shuiguan and the others? To be able to reach this place, their battle prowess was not weak. One by one, they recovered and shattered the true dragon's domain. More than 10 heavens' prides soared into the sky and patrolled the surroundings. Where do you think you're going? Saintess Ziwei's heavenly eye shone. She sensed something and felt a slight distortion in the void. Although it was difficult to detect, it was still locked onto by her Ziwei heavenly eye. Her eyes shot out 2 rays of divine light, aiming to lock onto Su Yan. However, Su Yan's movements were too fast. The moment they charged in, he used the earth overturning seal to disturb the topography. Then, he used earth shrinking to cross the void and arrived at the entrance of the ancient palace. Roar! Just as the crowd was about to attack, Shuiguan suddenly let out an angry roar. Divine light surged from his treasure body like a waterfall. Together with monstrous law patterns, they filled the entire ancient palace. Even the void exploded. A qilin appeared behind Shuiguan, filling up the entire ancient hall. This ancient qilin was majestic and awe-inspiring. Its roar shook the entire ancient hall, causing the surrounding geniuses' ears to ring and their blood to boil. Shuiguan was truly terrifying. A qilin appeared, its roar shattering the void. Su Yan was exposed in front of their eyes. At the same time, the qilin rushed over with an unstoppable divine might, causing the entire ancient palace to shake. Some of the huge pillars were on the verge of shattering. Tian Peng and the others were overwhelmed with shock. Shui Guan was truly terrifying. The Qilin had already pounced over and was about to tear apart Su Yan's body. Bang! The rooster grabbed Su Yan's sleeves with both hands and flapped its bare wings. It pressed down on the door of the ancient temple and closed it. Lei Yuguang laughed. Could the palace doors block Shui Guan's great divine ability? This was Shui Guan's furious attack, and he had used all of his strength. However, what stunned them was that when the Qilin crashed into the palace doors, the doors did not move at all, but the Qilin exploded into pieces. How can it be so sturdy? What material is it made of? Could it be divine material? Divine Sun Zhiyang was stunned. How sturdy must the doors be? With Shui Guan's strength just now, even an aspect divine weapon would be destroyed. Shui Guan's face was gloomy. The palace doors could not be opened. They were very heavy. He opened his heavenly eye to observe the void. He could faintly see that the divine power inside the palace was burning and turning into a prison, trapping them inside. Unless someone opens it from the outside, we can only wait for the palace to burn itself down. Saintess Ziwei saw through the clues and frowned. But how does Su Yan know the method to open the ancient palace's disarray? Even if he's a mystical cultivator, his cultivation can't be that high. Could Su Yan have obtained the true dragon's inheritance? Ingjie of the rock race did not look good. They had worked so hard and almost vomited blood to get here, but in the end there was nothing. The only remaining palace was also destroyed. See that? I'm still the most reliable at critical moments, the bald silver rooster said smugly. Follow me from now on, and I'll guarantee that you'll have a good life. Hurry up and call me Big Brother. Hey, Iron Rooster, stop fooling around. Su Yan could not help but look at him in disdain. Look at you, Big Brother? If you want me to take you in as a follower, I'll have to think about it. Su Yan was very fast. He knew that the ancient palace could not trap Shui Guan and the others for too long. He had to get out as soon as possible and leave the true dragon's nest. The Iron Rooster was so angry that he could not speak. His face turned green as he said angrily, "Brat, back then, even the Divine King begged me to take him in as a follower. There's no medicine for regret in this world. Iron Rooster, why don't you look in the mirror before bragging?" Su Yan glanced at the Iron Rooster and threatened, "Your feathers have been plucked clean by others, and you still have the nerve to brag. I'm ashamed of you. You're pissing me off." The Iron Rooster was flustered and exasperated. He flapped his wings and grabbed Su Yan. His bean-sized eyes were spitting fire. Just as he was about to flare up, he saw Su Yan quietly take out the black chain. The Iron Rooster's expression changed very quickly. He laughed and said, "We're all family. Fighting and killing is too hurtful." Su Yan was suspicious. He had studied this black chain before, but he could not find any clues. Was this thing that strong? When he held the black chain and gestured, the Iron Rooster seemed a little abnormal. Now that Su Yan had flown out of the tunnel, he put away the black chain. He felt that it was better to leave this place first. When he arrived at the extreme Yang River again, Su Yan's situation improved a lot. At this moment, he saw a familiar face. Fairy Zixiao was looking for him. She was graceful and elegant, full of charm. She was full of life, swaying gracefully. "Little Fairy Zixiao." Su Yan greeted her from afar. He said warmly, "I didn't expect to meet you here." "Su Yan, what are you doing here?" Fairy Zixiao's big eyes wandered around, inspecting Su Yan. When she noticed the big rooster standing on Su Yan's shoulder, she suddenly giggled. "Where did you catch this wild animal? It's too ugly. It doesn't even have any feathers on its body." The Iron Rooster's face fell, but he did not say anything, which was rare. Su Yan was surprised. He laughed and said, "It said that it wants to follow me and transform into a divine phoenix one day." Haha, Fairy Zixiao laughed until she was swaying back and forth. Her curvaceous body undulated, her eyes were shining with wisdom, and her eyelashes were long. The Iron Rooster tried hard to restrain his impulse to beat Su Yan up. He took a deep breath and roared in his heart, calm down, calm down. I'm a graceful expert. I won't lower myself to his level. Oh right, have you seen Shui Guan and the others? When Fairy Zixia asked this question, her expression changed. She saw a tunnel behind them. Her pupils shrank, and her expression became serious. Don't mention it. Shui Guan and the others have already killed their way in. If I go in, won't I be courting death? Su Yan said with a serious expression, hurry up and go in. It's said that there's good fortune inside. I'm going to leave now. I don't want to be blocked by them. That's true. Hurry up and go. Be careful on the way. I'll go and see what good fortune there is. Fairy Zixia was in a good mood. She reminded Su Yan and then entered the tunnel. Su Yan left in a hurry. On the way, he asked, why are you afraid of her? Who's afraid of her? The Iron Rooster said angrily. I'm giving face to the elders of the Taoist temple. Otherwise, I would have beaten her up long ago. Taoist temple? Su Yan was surprised. What kind of force is that? I've never heard of it. The universe is magnificent. What you've seen is just the tip of the iceberg. How can you speculate about this world? As for me, I know everything from astronomy to geography. There's nothing I don't know. The Iron Rooster showed off. Su Yan took out the black chain. The Iron Rooster immediately became obedient and explained, this is a very ancient force. This girl's background is not simple. There are very few descendants of the Taoist temple. It seems that the universe is going to be chaotic. Even the descendants of the Taoist temple have appeared. Is the era of kings fighting for supremacy coming? If you don't follow me, you won't even be able to raise your head in the future. The Iron Rooster's old habits were acting up again. Su Yan was too lazy to pay attention to it. His speed was very fast, and he kept going upstream. The true dragon's lair was not peaceful now. Many Ingjia had died and were buried in the extreme Yin River. A group of them had also died in the extreme Yang River. For a while there was an uproar. Outside the Star Catacomb, the elders of the various clans were waiting anxiously. They had not received any news for a long time, and they did not know what kind of opportunities existed in the true dragon's lair. Shui family head, why did you arrange so many people to guard the entrance of the true dragon's lair? Star Element's expression was unfriendly. His cold eyes swept over the elders of the Shui family. He said coldly, why? Are you going to attack the geniuses of the Big Dipper family? Hearing this, the Shui family head said indifferently, Great Elder, you worry too much. Let the younger generation go on an expedition. We, the older generation, will not blindly interfere. Are you saying that I am of the same generation as you? Star Element's domineering tone contained a wisp of killing intent. It was as if a giant dragon had awakened here. When it opened its eyes, the sun, moon, and stars were engraved in its eyes. It was as if it was real. When it opened and closed its eyes, the void would shatter. The Shui family head's expression was not normal. He suppressed the humiliation in his heart and said, Great Elder, how would I dare to communicate with you of the same generation? It's just that this is a struggle between the younger generation. It's not good for me to interfere. Young people these days are too hot-tempered. Star Element. Han Jin suddenly said, Young people, if you don't experience bloody storms and cruel bloody battles like hell, how can you climb up in the future and become strong? Young people should take risks and experience more dangerous situations. Only then could they move forward bravely. Throughout history, which expert didn't stand on a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood to get to where they were? What can a flower in a greenhouse achieve in the future? Xiao Wen and the others were furious. What kind of danger was this? So many people had been placed at the entrance of the true dragon's lair. What did they want to do? Star Element sighed in his heart. He was too lazy to say anything more. He saw that Han Tong was also among them. This was Han Jin's #1 disciple, and he was even a genius in his family. He felt that he had to invite the old ancestor. Otherwise, the Big Dipper clan would really be torn apart. Someone ran out of the water. I wonder if they have captured Su Yen alive? Did the champion of our clan obtain the fortune of the true dragon's lair? It's too fierce down there. Even geniuses find it difficult to withstand. I think Su Yen has already been refined to death. Many cultivators were stationed at the bank of the extreme Yin River. Most of them had received orders from their superiors to wait for Su Yen to come out. When the figure swimming up from below became clearer and clearer, the people guarding here were surprised and delighted. Su Yen! Someone immediately shouted angrily, "Someone come quickly! Su Yen has run out. This kid is really lucky to be able to come out alive. Kid, you have a lot of enemies. They are guarding you here." The miser covered his mouth with his wings and snickered. "Guarding me?" Su Yan's eyes were cold. He snorted in his heart, "Shui Guan and the others are trapped in the main hall. How dare they guard here?" Chapter 289. Look, Su Yen actually crawled out of the extreme Yin River. He's actually still alive. As soon as this was said, the cultivators sitting cross-legged nearby all stood up. Especially the followers of the geniuses from outside the realm, they were extremely excited. Su Yen had taken away the true dragon chi and 3 true dragon grasses. Even the quasi-sage medicine that Shui Guan had lost might very well be in Su Yan's hands. If they could capture him alive, the merit would be unimaginable. On the black water surface, a person had already crawled out. Su Yen pretended to be flustered. He looked around as if he was about to escape. This scene made the cheapskate look down on him. Although there were many cultivators around who wanted to target Su Yen, none of them were truly worthy of being on the stage. He made such a gesture to attract more people to make a move. This scene made the eyes of the onlookers turn red. Not to mention taking away Su Yan's treasure, taking away a true dragon grass was already a great stroke of luck. Su Yen, you're really lucky to be able to crawl out alive. Every dog has its day. The feeling of being in the extreme Yin River wasn't very good, right? One of Shui Guan's cousins laughed loudly. He knew that the bottom of the extreme Yin River was very dangerous. Many experts had already died here. We didn't wait for you for so long in vain. You're finally out. A group of cultivators rushed over, all of them laughing loudly. We've searched high and low for you, only to find you with all our efforts. Someone took out a killing sword, causing the temperature in the area to plummet. Su Yen, hand over the true dragon grass and I'll back out now. One of Tian Peng's followers directly pounced forward. This was a giant bird with a body like a cloud. It stretched out its claws to capture Su Yen. Su Yen is the person that Shui Guan wanted to capture alive. No one can interfere. The Shui family's cultivators were furious. A large group of them charged forward, wanting to be the first to capture Su Yen alive. I thought there were some experts, so it's just you guys. Su Yen frowned. He thought that Han Tong's Ho would be here, but he didn't expect that there would only be some cultivators with average strength. What do you mean? Some people had cold looks in their eyes. Su Yan's expression and tone seemed to be looking down on them. This made them furious. There were at least over 100 experts gathered here. No matter how strong Su Yen was, how could he withstand the joint attack of all of them? Nothing much. Who wants to die first? Su Yen cast a sidelong glance at these people and scolded. Good for you, Su Yen. Shui Guan's cousin was so angry that his face turned ashen. He pointed at Su Yen and roared, Even now, you still dare to speak so arrogantly. Kill this bastard for me. No, capture him alive. Do not harm his life. Kill. This place erupted with chaos. Surging killing light surged, covering the void densely. Killing artifacts smashed through the air one after another. The movement was very big. Black waves appeared on the banks of the extreme Ain River. There were over 100 cultivators attacking at the same time. The scene was too spectacular. There was a power that could suppress heaven and earth rippling out. There were also people who were watching the battle who were frightened. There were too many people attacking, and most of them had grudges with Su Yan. There were also some who wanted to take advantage of the situation to see if they could snatch a true dragon grass. Su Yan did not move. His head of long black hair was tired. On his handsome face, there was a trace of cold light. Some people were surprised. Su Yan did not move at all. However, some people saw that the giant bird under Tian Peng's command was waving its claws. It was as if it was grabbing onto an indestructible divine metal. The giant bird felt a chill all over its body, and a sense of fear appeared in its body. It was the closest to Su Yan and could clearly feel the terrifying airflow from this person's body. It seemed to fill the entire void and began to penetrate the heavens. "I don't have any true dragon grass, but I can send you on your way." Su Yan raised his hand. His palm rapidly enlarged as he grabbed hold of the giant bird. "Stop. I'm a subordinate of the Ping race's prodigy." The giant bird was horrified. It was a creature at the third heaven of the law phase realm, but it was captured alive by Su Yan in one move. It struggled, but the hand that held its body seemed to be made of divine materials and was filled with energy that made it suffocate. "Ah!" It screamed miserably as Su Yan crushed it in the void. The sky was dyed red with blood. Su Yan's entire body glowed as terrifying flames rippled within his body. A gigantic dragon-shaped pillar spat out from the top of his head. The energy ripples that were created from the vibrations swept across all directions. For a moment the world shook. A large number of cultivators were sent flying, coughing out large mouthfuls of blood. Some cultivators disintegrated in the air, exploding into ashes. What was this place? This was the true dragon's lair. Almost everyone was suppressed, but Su Yan grasped the true dragon's secret technique and was not suppressed at all. What happened? Some people were stunned. The scene in front was too tragic and too sudden. There were broken limbs everywhere. The ground was covered in broken bones and blood. How can this be? How can he be so strong? Many of the survivors were terrified. They crawled up and wanted to escape. They couldn't even believe their eyes. "Since you're here, then stay." Su Yan's entire body shone with golden light. His might was shocking. He emitted a divine power source that seemed to pierce through the sky. He roared out and filled the true dragon's lair. Everyone trembled in fear. They couldn't believe that this was the current Su Yan. "Run!" Those who survived were terrified. They fled in panic as if they saw a peerless genius erupt and want to kill them all. Crack! Su Yan's large hand stretched out again, causing the huge true dragon's lair to undulate. Ancient dragon might scattered down. It was as if a heavenly dragon's claw had descended from the sky and shattered the void. The miser was astonished. He waved his bare wings and scratched his head. Then, he muttered inwardly, "This brat grasped the true dragon's secret technique. It should be a supreme secret technique of the true dragon bloodline. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to grasp the true dragon's claw in such a short time." Large amounts of fleeing cultivators screamed miserably. They were torn apart by the dragon claw. "Don't kill me. I'm Shui Guan's cousin." A young man's scalp went numb. His face was pale. He was scared out of his wits. All the hair on his body stood on end. "This reason isn't enough." Su Yan approached and looked down at him like a divine king. He was angry here. True dragon afterimages flashed in the void one after another. The scene was full of shock. He knelt down with a plop and quickly kowtowed. He said in fear, "Don't kill me. Spare me. I won't dare to do it again." Among the onlookers, some of the older generation were speechless. The might of a supreme being. He scared the enemy out of their wit. This is the might of a supreme being. The current Su Yan is too strong. I wonder what realm he is at now. Is he at the third heaven of the Transcendence realm? How much more? His cultivation speed is really a miracle. He's too fierce. I've seen the essence blood in his body. It seems like it can pierce through the sky. This is really scary. Those who can do this are all at the sixth heaven of the Transcendence realm. But Su Yan's body is strong. I think he's at the second or third heaven of the Transcendence realm. Someone evaluated and said, the Big Dipper prodigy lives up to his name. Can he compete with Shui Guan in the future? Difficult, difficult, difficult. There are 7 or 8 small realms between them. Every small realm in the Transcendence realm takes years to break through. This is considered fast. If Su Yan was given 10 years, he should be able to do it. But why would Shui Guan give him 10 years? He's already enlightened himself. The older generation discussed secretly. They rarely participated in battles and came here to search for opportunities to prolong their lives. Spineless. You deserve to die. Su Yan glared at him and a beam of light shot out from his eyes. It was like a sharp killing sword tearing him into pieces. Su Yan's eyes scanned the surroundings. He didn't use the astral armor and had already defeated everyone here. The 9th heaven of the Transcendent realm. His body and life spring were complete. Once they were awakened, they erupted at the same time. His combat power was shocking. The people who surrounded him died. None of them could escape. If I put on the astral armor, my combat power will be at the 2nd or 3rd heaven of the Transcendence realm. If I use the Tyrant Body technique, I'll probably be able to exert the power of the 6th heaven of the Transcendence realm. The secret technique isn't a solution. I need to be at the Transcendence realm with my true strength. Thinking of this, Su Yan made a prompt decision. He crossed the void and wanted to leave. Su Yan wanted to go to the reincarnation pool and break through. After a period of hibernation, he would definitely enter the Transcendence realm. By then, he wouldn't be afraid of anyone. Su Yan is too calm. He only left after collecting the treasures of the dead. Someone frowned and said, "Did something happen to Shui Guan and the rest?" Otherwise, Su Yan wouldn't have had the time to search for their treasures. At this point, Fairy Zixiao was furious. She gritted her teeth and went crazy. She wanted to beat Su Yan up. In front of her, the ancient palace shattered and turned into ashes. The divine child of the 9 suns was crying. He said that they had been tricked by Su Yan and had been trapped in the ancient palace for a while. Now, they estimated that Su Yan should have escaped. Damn thief! You tricked me by saying that you're afraid of being killed? Kill your head. I'm so angry. You took the opportunity and didn't even say that you wanted to split it. Fairy Zixiao was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Her big eyes looked around, inspecting the destroyed ancient palace. She was annoyed. She covered her forehead with her white hand and muttered, "It's destroyed. This is troublesome. Who won the game? What does it have to do with Su Yan? Could it have something to do with the rooster that wanted to become a divine phoenix?" Fairy Zixiao guessed. She looked through the ruins with a sad face, trying to find some clues. She wanted to know the real reason for the collapse of the Big Dipper. Outside the true dragon's lair, it was not quiet. Someone rushed out and said excitedly, "Su Yan ran up from the extreme river. I guess he's now being hunted by the masters of our clan. Maybe we can kill Su Yan without the need for the trap here." As soon as this was said, the cultivators who were hiding at the entrance of the true dragon's lair felt sorry. They had waited for a long time. They didn't want to see Su Yan die. They wanted to kill him with their own hands. Xuelong was killed. How could Shui Guan let it go? The Shui family had set up a backup plan here to prevent Su Yan from coming out. He must come out alive. I'm going to tear him apart. Han Tong was also guarding the passage. Recalling the past hatred, he couldn't help but smile. I'll let that old bastard Star Element see who is the real king of the younger generation of the Big Dipper bloodline. It's time to put an end to it. I, Han Tong, have endured for hundreds of years. How can I be a paper? I'll make you all look at me differently. No. I should go out and kill this bastard myself. If I join forces with the Shui family to kill Su Yan, it's hard to say who will take Su Yan's life. Thinking of this, Han Tong suddenly stood up and said in a strong tone, Men, lead the way. We'll detain Su Yan and bring him to justice. The Big Dipper bloodline has shed too much blood. We must use Su Yan's sinners' blood as a sacrifice to their souls. Today, I'll clean up the family for the Big Dipper bloodline. Okay. Chapter 290. Han Tong was full of boldness, as if he was a king among men. He was awe-inspiring and looked down on everyone. His temperament was completely different. He was no longer holding back. His words were very domineering as he ordered the Shui family cultivator to lead the way. Han Tong, what are you doing? The Shui family was stunned. Han Tong was only a helper in charge of guarding the nest. The Shui family was the leader in capturing Su Yan. When they captured Su Yan alive, he would naturally fall into the hands of Shuiguan. It would have nothing to do with Han Tong. One had to know that Shuiguan was killed by Su Yan. It would be strange if Shuiguan could swallow this anger. Come and lead the way. Han Tong's voice carried an irresistible majesty. His voice was like thunder, like the stars in outer space falling to the earth. Especially his pupils, it was like a deep sea of stars rising and falling. The Shui family cultivator who reported the news couldn't look straight at Han Tong. Under Han Tong's gaze, he trembled with fear. His primordial spirit felt like it was about to collapse. At this moment, he didn't dare to defy Han Tong's will. He led the way. The surrounding people gasped. Han Tong's sudden toughness shocked them. However, when they thought about his identity, they couldn't help but say, Han Tong is the eldest senior brother of the Big Dipper lineage. Even Mizar Juzi and the others have to call him senior brother. The Big Dipper lineage is a superpower from ancient times. The eldest senior brother of this lineage is called the Saint Child. It's only right. That's right. Now that Han Tong suddenly erupted, it seems like his foundation is shocking. Is he preparing to rise up? There were many discussions here. A large group of cultivators followed to watch. Someone said with a firm tone, It seems like Han Tong has been holding back all this time. Now that he suddenly erupted, he is absolutely confident in suppressing the Big Dipper prodigy and securing his position as the eldest senior brother. It seems like Han Tong is stronger than Mizar Juzi and the others. The scene displayed by the cosmic edge attracted the attention of all the experts. After all, Han Tong was a senior brother of the older generation. If he couldn't display his strength, it was only a matter of time before he stepped down. Even Han Jin couldn't say anything about it. Right now, the True Dragon Lair was bustling with activity. There were too many cultivators searching for treasures. Unfortunately, there were too few treasures in the True Dragon Lair. Many cultivators were disappointed. Who's in front of us? How imposing! Someone saw that the entrance to the True Dragon Lair was filled with divine might. Han Tong walked with the gait of dragons and tigers. He was like the king of the Big Dipper. His entire body emitted wave after wave of vast starry sky fluctuations that filled the sky. It was as if he wanted to sweep through the entire True Dragon Lair. Han Tong has charged in, saying that he wants to take Su Yan's head. Someone exclaimed, even great child Yao Guang was suppressed by Su Yan. Could it be that Su Yan is stronger than great child Yao Guang? Or perhaps, as the eldest senior brother of the Big Dipper clan, Han Tong has been silently enduring all this time? I don't know. After all, Han Tong is a young genius of the older generation. He probably has a shocking foundation. The outer regions of the True Dragon Lair were abuzz with discussions. Everyone saw Han Tong with his hands behind his back. The Milky Way diagram appeared behind him with the sun, moon, and stars engraved on it. His might was truly extraordinary. His speed was too fast. He was about to reach the entrance of the Blood Mountain. This was even more shocking. Han Tong's battle prowess was suppressed here, but Su Yan was at his peak state. Could Han Tong really be so terrifying that he could ignore the pressure and suppress Su Yan? Han Tong is really full of confidence. He's charging straight ahead without looking back. More and more people rushed over to watch. Han Tong was about to reach the extreme Yin River. The people who were originally watching the battle met Han Tong. After a short exchange, Han Tong's face turned gloomy. Su Yan, you actually ran away. The disciples under Han Tong shouted angrily. He knows that eldest senior brother is here to capture him. He actually ran away in fear? Go back immediately and capture Su Yan. Han Tong was furious. His divine might shocked the sun and moon. He turned around and rushed towards the entrance of the true dragon lair. He didn't want to be too late and see Su Yan's corpse lying outside the true dragon lair. This was an ending that Han Tong didn't want to see. Now that Su Yan's prestige was at its peak, if he could kill him, it would definitely strengthen his divine might. Now that the news of the battle between the two geniuses of the Big Dipper lineage had spread, some people speculated that it was very likely that a punitive expedition had already begun. However, the Shui family had paid a great price to set up layers of killing formations at the entrance of the true dragon lair to prevent Su Yan from leaving. Who knew that Han Tong would actually charge in and kill Su Yan first? This made the Shui family angry, but because of Han Tong, they couldn't say anything. Look, at this moment, there was an uproar at the entrance of the true dragon lair. Even the cultivators of the Shui family were dumbfounded. This was because Su Yan had come out and was standing at the entrance of the true dragon lair. At the entrance, Su Yan looked around at the dumbfounded crowd, which made him a little surprised. What was going on? Could it be that something had happened? He could even feel that there were dangers lurking around. There were at least a dozen killing formations. This was too much. Su Yan sneered in his heart. The Shui family really went to great lengths to kill me. They even brought out their trump cards. Do they really think they can trap me? What's going on? Why did Su Yan come out? The scene displayed by the cosmic horn caused Han Jin's expression to change. He said angrily, "The battle won't end in a short period of time. Su Yan must have dodged Han Tong's attack. Good for you, Su Yan. You'd rather die at the hands of the Shui family than help Han Tong. Su Yan, since you can't bear to die at Han Tong's hands, then leave it to us, the Shui family." At the entrance of the true dragon's lair, killing lights split the sky. A terrifying aura filled the air. A Shui family elder said calmly. He was in charge of the killing formation. He shouted coldly, "I'll give you two choices now. Come out and kneel here. Otherwise, you can go in and let our Shui Guan kill you." Han Tong escaped. Su Yan looked furious. He said, "I was just strolling around the dragon's lair and picking some great herbs. Is this Han Tong blind? Didn't he see me along the way? He still wants to kill me." Once he said this, everyone was dumbfounded. "Bastard!" Han Jin roared. His voice was so loud that it could be heard here. It was a bloody humiliation. Han Jin was so angry that he almost fainted. He shouted angrily, "Su Yan, if you have the ability, go in and fight with Han Tong. What kind of ability is it to talk so fast?" However, no matter how loud his voice was, it couldn't be heard. "Su Yan, you truly won't shed a tear until you see the coffin." An elder from the Shui family angrily laughed. "What's the point of saying all this? I'll give you two paths. You'd better think carefully. Of course, both paths lead to death. Both paths lead to death. I suggest you kneel here and accept your punishment. Who knows, maybe Shui Guan will spare your little life on account of Fairy Beidou. A bunch of old fogies wait here. I'll go in and take Han Tong's head, then I'll come back to deal with you all." Su Yan suddenly disappeared into the void. The group of assassins who were heading towards Su Yan's location almost cursed out loud. "This brat is too slippery." He ran away as soon as he noticed something was wrong. No rush, no rush. So what if he's scared away? It's within our expectations. The elder from the Shui family was very calm and smiled. Su Yan has no way out. We'll just wait here. Maybe it won't be long before Shuiguan comes back with Su Yan's head. We'll just preach here to intimidate Su Yan. That's right. I think I can see Su Yan dying in fear. If it wasn't for Su Yan's spatial bending, he would have been killed by our clan's champion. The true dragon's den is sealed. Spatial bending won't let him out. Let's just sit here and wait for Su Yan's head to roll out. There were too many cultivators from the Shui family. They had simply deployed all the elites in the family to seal the true dragon's lair from the inside out, not allowing Su Yan the slightest chance of escaping. Su Yan ran very fast. He didn't expect Han Tong to have the guts to barge in and kill him. After all, the true dragon's den suppressed their combat ability. If Han Tong was really outside, with his peak Transcendence Realm combat ability and his identity as the eldest senior brother of the Big Dipper clan, how could he kill him? It was extraordinarily difficult. But it was different inside the true dragon's den. This made Iron Rooster laugh. I say, you're still in the mood to kill? Hurry up and run. I estimate that in less than 4 hours, the group of prodigies trapped in the ancient palace will come out. Then, you won't be able to protect yourself. What's there to be afraid of? You're going to die with me anyway, said Su Yan. If you didn't steal my fortune, I wouldn't be in this situation now. Iron Rooster was furious. He glared at him with his bean-sized eyes and urged, hurry up and go. Find a place to hide. Let's wait for a while. If you want to leave, leave by yourself. I won't stop you, replied Su Yan. Iron Rooster was so angry that his face darkened. Now that the true dragon's den was sealed, no one could leave. Han Tong has returned. Has Su Yan already reached the entrance of the true dragon's den? There were too many onlookers who followed Han Tong back. They were very anxious and didn't want to miss this big battle, whether it was a bloodbath in the Shui family's resource land, looting the auction, or even killing Shuilong. After a series of major events, Su Yan's reputation was not weak. They all wanted to see how Su Yan would end up. Han Tong is too fast. We can't keep up. A large group of cultivators chased after him. Han Tong was already very close to the cave that was sealed by the Blood Mountain. His entire body was filled with anger and killing intent as he said coldly, Su Yan, you must live. Wait for your eldest senior brother to teach you what it means to be a true Big Dipper prodigy. Buzz. Starlight erupted from his body and radiated outwards, rippling with energy. It collided with the void with a loud bang, causing even the cave entrance to rumble. His cold eyes opened wide and divine light sputtered out. He was already half a step into the true dragon's den. He was somewhat anxious and didn't want to see Su Yan's corpse lying on the ground. "Ha, virtuous nephew, I heard you were looking for me." It was at this time that a muffled sound of thunder exploded in the true dragon's den. As soon as these words were spoken, the crowd that was chasing Han Tong became restless. Wasn't this Su Yan's voice? Su Yan, oh Su Yan, you really dared to come. Han Tong laughed loudly with his hands behind his back. He looked down at the world and said coldly, "It seems like you've been frightened by the Shui family's killing formation. Now you want to break out from here? Su Yan, you're finally willing to come back? Your eldest senior brother didn't come personally to bring you home in vain." Han Tong's group laughed as they saw a shadow descending from the sky. "Out of the way!" Su Yan berated. He slapped out with his palm and sent all of Han Tong's subordinates flying. Chapter 291. Su Yan's aura surged like a bull. The essence blood beam that poured down from his body contained a dragon-shaped chi and blood beam. Golden splendor sprinkled down from the sky, drowning the cave entrance of the true dragon's lair. It could easily crush a mountain, causing Han Tong's subordinates to tremble and collapse, exploding into a bloody mist. But everyone who saw this scene was horrified. What was Su Yan doing? Could it be that he had counterattacked from the outside? Su Yan, you're finally here. Han Tong's eyes were cold. The soles of his feet fiercely stomped on the ground, his aura awakening limitlessly. He was like a king among men bathed in the 9 heavens of the Milky Way. The divine might within him rose from the ground and filled the void. The moment Su Yan pushed the divine might over, it was shattered by the aura within Han Tong's body that had recovered. At this moment, Han Tong's divine might was awe-inspiring. His aura startled the sun and moon. His precious body was surrounded by starlight, and the divine might that emerged from his flesh was more exuberant with each layer. This was the embodiment of heaven and earth. Even with the suppression of the true dragon's lair, Han Tong was still exceptionally powerful. He looked down at Su Yan and smiled cruelly. Come, let your senior brother give you some pointers. Have you made any progress in your cultivation these past few days? Since you're challenging me, why aren't you coming over? Su Yan waved his hand at Han Tong and stepped into the true dragon's lair. His figure was tall and straight, and his black hair draped over his shoulders. He stood at the entrance of the true dragon's lair. You think you're worthy? Han Tong's eyes glared angrily. His eyeballs were like an ancient sea of stars, hiding the sun, moon, and stars. When his pupils widened, the sun, moon, and stars were revealed. It was as if 2 small worlds were awakening, bursting out with resplendent starlight. This is the heavenly eye of the starry sky. The surroundings were in an uproar. This was an extremely rare great divine ability. Han Tong's eyes were like 2 condensed starry skies erupting. Once locked onto, it could easily suppress a powerful enemy. His heavenly eye was resplendent, and the sun, moon, and stars were suspended. When it erupted, it reflected 2 condensed starry skies. It was as if 2 large black holes had appeared and began to envelop Su Yan. Heaven and earth turned gloomy, and the void was constantly being destroyed. Look, Su Yan has been subdued. The spectating cultivators were overwhelmed with emotions. They saw the divine energy of the 2 heavenly eyes combine into one, forming a small starry sky that enveloped Su Yan. They could faintly see that as the small starry sky rotated, Su Yan was about to be torn apart. Su Yan, what do you have to fight me? Han Tong shook his head and said indifferently, If it weren't for the fact that I didn't want to bully you too much, I wouldn't have chosen to come to the true dragon lair. Han Tong is worthy of being called the eldest senior brother. He has a demeanor and bearing. He has been enduring silently all this time, but who would have thought that he would erupt at the critical moment and produce such a rare great divine ability? Admittedly, Han Tong is bullying the weak, but in the true dragon lair, Su Yan has the advantage. The difference isn't that great. The spectators were all amazed. Those who didn't know Han Tong as a human would think that he was a great person. We are of the same lineage. Nephew, do you want to kill me so badly? Su Yan replied. You have already turned demonic. You have killed my Big Dipper lineage's disciples again and again. You even dared to subdue Yao Guang. The Big Dipper lineage will not allow a traitor like you to appear. Han Tong replied forcefully with determination, Even if the sect blames me, I will take responsibility. Ha ha ha, nephew's ability to turn black into white is truly not small. Su Yan laughed angrily. After seeing their faces, he was truly furious. Su Yan, you are impudent. You keep calling me nephew. Now that you have been subdued, you still won't behave. A group of Han Tong's disciples rushed over. One of them laughed viciously. Eldest senior brother, you don't even need to do anything. We can capture him. That's right. Eldest senior brother, please wait a moment. We can subdue this evil creature. A group of Big Dipper lineage disciples rushed over, their eyes emitting malevolent killing intent. They wanted to kill Su Yan immediately. Those who don't know better would think that you, Han Tong, are a noble person. Su Yan sneered. Su Yan, you still dare to slander our eldest senior brother when you are about to die. Kill him for me. The disciples who rushed over pulled out their killing swords and laughed viciously. They waved their swords at Su Yan, who was locked down by the starry sky eye. They wanted to kill him. Get out of my way. Su Yan's eyes suddenly widened. His aura was completely different. He was like a martial arts grandmaster. Blood essence beams drilled out of his pores and rose from the ground in an instant. They were like thousands of angry waves that rolled up the sky. It was a shocking scene. The small world created by the starry sky eye was bombarded full of holes by Su Yan's aura. Roar. Under the gazes of tens of thousands of people, Su Yan awakened. He was like a burning divine furnace. A true dragon soared from his spine, and its roar shattered the small world. Moreover, it caused the group of disciples who were charging towards him to shatter in fear. "Oh my God!" many people exclaimed. They saw a dragon flying through the 9 heavens and dominating the world. The sky was filled with surging divine energy. The true dragon emerged from the void and soared through several miles. It was brimming with supreme dragon might as it roared at Han Tong. For a moment, the sky fell and the earth cracked. Murderous intent filled the sky. However, what made them tremble was that this was only the beginning. The true dragon's blood essence pillar that filled the void became stronger as it flew. It was like a divine king Dali was pushing it toward Han Tong. "Little Taoist," Han Tong said coldly. His treasure body was radiant and the sound of scriptures was transmitted from his body. When the dormant Dharma aura in his body completely awakened, Han Tong seemed to have turned into a starry sky furnace. The moment he spat, thousands of layers of Dharma power pierced through the clouds and gathered in the void to form a giant starry sky chart. The starry sky chart was shocking enough. Huge stars hung inside one after another. 9 stars appeared in the starry sky chart, each brighter than the last. These were 9 stars in the universe. They burned so fiercely that it made people's eyes bleed. 9-star chart. Someone exclaimed in shock. This is the Big Dipper lineage's shocking Dharma idol. Condensing the 9-star atlas requires endless resources and foundations. Han Tong actually cultivated the 9-star atlas to the state of grand completion. How strong must his foundations be? The 9 stars rotated in the void. The aura they emitted intertwined and turned into a giant starry sky chart that covered more than 10 miles. Even the true dragon's secret technique seemed weak in front of the giant 9-star chart. Suppress. Han Tong was extremely domineering. He even had his hands behind his back, as if he was looking down on everything. The 9-star chart descended from the sky like the Milky Way. It was filled with a vast aura that covered the sky and suppressed the giant dragon-shaped pillar. Han Tong waved one arm and stood with his hands behind his back. His hand pressed against the 9-star chart and suddenly pressed down. The dragon totem was distorted and deformed under the pressure. It was about to be destroyed under the 9-star chart. Some of the older generation frowned. Why couldn't they feel the power of Dharma? Could it be that Su Yan hadn't stepped into the Dharma plane yet? Thinking of this, they shuddered. How was this possible? Su Yan is finished. The prestige he accumulated over the years is going to help Han Tong. Some people felt sorry for him and felt that it wasn't worth it. Help my ass, some people were shocked. Suddenly, they saw a shadow emerge from the distorted dragon totem. When the initial sutra was activated, the body and life spring merged into one and the astral armor was activated. This caused Su Yan's body to surge with a terrifying blood essence aura. Boom! This divine power was too strong. It was about to penetrate the sea and come out from Su Yan's head. It opened the 9-star chart and pierced through the sky. Kill! Su Yan shouted. He didn't want to waste any more time. He rushed over, his body surging with divine light. He raised his hand and flames appeared between his fingers. The true dragon's killing sound was sonorous. Suddenly, Some people saw a true dragon soaring into the sky and stretching out its claws. A huge and golden dragon claw tore through all matter. Wrapped in shocking divine power, it forcefully crushed the star chart. The condensed stars were torn apart by the dragon claw. The dragon soared into the sky and crashed into the star chart. He swooped down, a blurry chaotic sea rose behind him. It was filled with a prehistoric aura. How is this possible? How can the divine power in his body be so strong? Some old cultivators were shocked. It was as if they had seen a true dragon soaring into the sky. The sky was filled with waves of air. It was boundless and golden. Dong! Su Yan waved his peerless fist and smashed forward. His entire fist revealed the body of a true dragon, crushing the void layer by layer. Facing such a ferocious dragon-like body, Han Tong's expression became serious. His arm shone, interweaving with dense patterns. His entire arm was like a river of stars lying horizontally here, suffused with powerful defensive power. Han Tong brandished his arm to block Su Yan's fist. At the same time, his other hand reached out and displayed the power of the star-plucking hand to capture Su Yan. One had to admit that Han Tong was overconfident. One attacked and one defended, trying to suppress Su Yan. Bang! A series of loud sounds exploded. Rumbling sounds followed in all directions. Horrifying waves surged and swept in all directions. The great earth began to shake. Everyone was shocked. The strength of the fist was too abnormal. It struck Han Tong's entire arm until it cracked and was about to shatter. Ah! Han Tong roared angrily. He endured the pain and activated the star-plucking hand. It enveloped Su Yan and attacked him. What made people's faces turn green was that this palm landed solidly on Su Yan's back. However, there was only a sonorous sound. Su Yan's body was like a piece of divine iron. Han Tong's strength only made his body tremble. Han Tong didn't believe that Su Yan's body was so sturdy. Even with the starry sky armor, it couldn't block all of his attacks. Bang! Su Yan swept his leg forward like a true dragon swinging its tail. Moreover, he secretly used the earth shrinking technique. No matter how fast Han Tong retreated, he couldn't dodge this kick from Su Yan. Han Tong was sent flying by this kick. He coughed up blood as if he had been smashed by an angry dragon. His hair was disheveled and his eyes were red. He had suffered a great loss. He had underestimated Su Yan. "Nephew, can you still do it?" Su Yan rushed over, his body rippling with killing intent. "I have my own methods to kill you." Chapter 292. Cut the crap. Su Yan pounced forward as the dragon totem behind him appeared. It contained the majestic aura of a true dragon as it rushed towards Han Tong. Han Tong shouted angrily as he pushed his combat strength to meet the attack. He did not believe that he could not even suppress a small cultivator of the past. Boom! They clashed together. At the moment of impact, energy ripples swept out in all directions. Sounds of killing and collisions filled the air. Everyone was shocked by Su Yan's strength. It had only been a few years, but he had become so strong. The divine power in his body was so exuberant that it made one's hair stand on end. Pung! Su Yan's fist landed on Han Tong's chest, breaking his sternum. Han Tong spat out a mouthful of blood. He felt as if his heart was about to collapse from Su Yan's attack. However, Han Tong's palm also landed on Su Yan's shoulder with a loud bang. Han Tong's face turned green. Su Yan's body was too tough. Even an aspect divine weapon would not be able to threaten his body. This was enough to show how tough his body was. Su Yan's body floated with scriptures. The beginning sutra was circulating in his body. His entire body glowed as his life spring and body merged. The divine power in his body vibrated. Combined with the power of the astral armor, he suppressed Han Tong to the point that he could not even lift his head. However, some people felt that something was wrong. Han Tong was very calm and did not have the slightest intention of retreating. Some people suspected that Han Tong was doing this on purpose to stall for time. Something's not right. An old cultivator's pupils suddenly shrank as he discovered a terrifying and ominous glint emerging from Han Tong's body. Especially on the surface of his body, there were some faintly growing silver-white scales, as if they were cast from the divine materials of the starry sky. "Look!" many people exclaimed. Han Tong's entire body was covered with a layer of silver scales. Roar! Strands of ferocious aura surged out from his body, forcefully collapsing the void. At this moment, Han Tong seemed to have turned into a silver beast. His entire body emitted clanging sounds as if he was a silver dragon. "Su Yan, give me your life!" Han Tong let out a ferocious roar. He seemed to have turned into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Apart from his head, his entire body had undergone a shocking transformation. He even grew a huge tail that flashed with a soul-stirring silver light. What kind of secret technique is this? Is Han Tong not a human cultivator? All the cultivators who saw this scene were stunned. Everyone could feel the extremely violent energy surging out of Han Tong's body. With a loud bang, it struck out with unstoppable force. Su Yan's entire body trembled as he took several steps back. Even with his powerful treasured body, it was difficult for him to withstand the impact. "It's the Tyrannosaurus!" one of the old cultivators exclaimed. "That's the tyrant dragon technique of the Big Dipper clan. It's a forbidden technique. Once it's used, it takes a huge toll on the human body. However, it allows one to fight above their level." How did Han Tong cultivate this secret technique? Tyrant dragon art is too harmful to the body. "Su Yan, you want to fight me? You're not good enough." Han Tong let out a sinister laugh. A ferocious aura surged from his body. The silver scales that covered his body emitted clanging sounds. His huge silver tail swung about, emitting a terrifying fluctuation that wanted to shatter this world. "Give me your life." The violent strength made Han Tong let out a sinister laugh. His aura was too violent. His body could be said to be invincible. He slashed out with a destructive force that smashed towards Su Yan. "You're neither human nor ghost. What kind of secret technique is this?" Su Yan coldly said. Although Han Tong's combat strength had increased by a large margin, this secret technique was too harmful to the human body. It even consumed a person's lifespan. If Han Tong wasn't in a hurry to kill Su Yan, he wouldn't have used the Tyrannosaurus Rex. "It's a peerless secret technique that can kill you. I've already paid the price. Now, it's time for you, Su Yan, to pay with your life," Han Tong coldly said. He had already rushed to Su Yan's side, wanting to fight him in close combat. The entire area was covered by a silver light. The spectators couldn't help but tremble. Han Tong raised his fist, which contained a destructive ferocious aura. He wanted to kill Su Yan here with a punch. What is he doing? The old cultivator paled. This is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. No matter how terrifying Su Yan's body is, it can't block the power of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Someone saw Su Yan raise his arm, his palm forming a fist seal, and fiercely smashing towards Han Tong to meet the attack head-on. "You want to die? I'll fulfill your wish." Han Tong smiled. The flames on his fist were terrifying. It was like a burning furnace containing the power of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The void exploded as he rushed towards Su Yan. He wanted to kill him here with a punch. "You think too highly of yourself." Su Yan's eyes flashed with coldness. This confident expression made Han Tong's heart skip a beat. He had a bad premonition. Su Yan's fist indeed looked weaker than Han Tong's. However, the moment he pushed the divine treasures out of his precious body, the expressions of the surrounding people changed. They seemed to see a young divine king awakening, carrying a primordial true dragon on his back. A terrifying fluctuation was released from Su Yan's body. His 4 limbs were about to push open the universe and transform into the 4 extremes of the universe. the moment the indistinct primordial light pierced through Su Yan's fist. The power emitted from Su Yan's entire body rapidly soared. This was the purest primordial power, the most fundamental power of the human body. Once it erupted, it would be terrifying and overflowing. Kill! Su Yan roared. He raised his fist and smashed down, boundlessly domineering. Su Yan's fist rapidly enlarged as if it had turned into a primordial fist. It spat out a hair-raising force as it rumbled over. It was like the wheels of an ancient chariot crushing the void and striking the ground with a clap of thunder. This fist caused a great earthquake. The heaven and earth rumbled with a soul-stirring sound. Kacha! Han Tong's entire body was about to cave in. He was unable to withstand Su Yan's power. This was the most basic divine power of the human body. Su Yan's power blasted Han Tong away. Half of his body was caving in and large patches of scales were ripped off. Ah! Han Tong let out a mournful cry. There was even a trace of despair in his voice. How could this be? He had already activated the Tyrant Dragon art. Why couldn't he defeat Su Yan? Bang! Su Yan's expression was cold. He rushed up once again and kicked Han Tong into the sky. The Tyrant Dragon's physique was distorted and on the verge of collapse. If he didn't have the Tyrant Dragon art, this kick would have been enough to kill him. Run! Han Tong didn't hesitate. If he didn't leave, he would die. There was no chance of survival. You won't be able to escape. Su Yan used the earth shrinking technique to cross over. He raised his fist once again and punched at Han Tong. Chi! Just as his fist approached, Han Tong suddenly pulled out an ancient sword embryo. The moment it recovered, it spat out a vast expanse of white sword light. It furiously slashed at Su Yan. Not good! Su Yan's expression changed slightly. He instantly retreated and dodged the sword embryo's attack in layers of the void. Kill! Han Tong once again brandished the ancient sword embryo. The moment the sword body trembled, the sword light blazed several times more fiercely. It was like a river of stars exploding and a mountain flood bursting through a dam. The entire sky was filled with sword light. This sword was formed by the convergence of the power of the galaxy. Even the stars of the universe were manifested within the sword light. The airflow that leaked out was truly terrifying. Su Yan dodged, but the group of cultivators watching from afar screamed incessantly. Some of them were even hacked to death. That's the 9-star sword, someone said in shock. It should be the sword of a big shot from the Big Dipper lineage. It's a type of ancient treasure. I didn't expect Han Tong to have such a trump card. Su Yan, count yourself lucky this time. I'll definitely kill you. Han Tong turned around and left. He had used too much energy just now. If he continued to use the ancient sword's power, he would soon be exhausted. Su Yan disappeared into the void. His eyes stared at Han Tong. To be more precise, he stared at the 9-star sword. This treasure was a type of offensive killing weapon. He really needed this sword embryo. Han Tong fled at lightning speed. He knew that Su Yan had mastered the earth shrinking technique. He had to rush out as soon as possible. The guards outside the True Dragon's nest were getting anxious. Some Shui family cultivators couldn't help but rush in, wanting to scout for information. Su Yan chased after Han Tong. He had been tailing him all this time. What kind of creature is that? Neither human nor ghost? A Shui family cultivator found Han Tong drenched in blood. He was rushing in their direction. Scram! Han Tong was so angry that his face turned purple. He let out an angry roar, causing this Shui family cultivator to explode into pieces. Han Tong was so angry that his heart and lungs were trembling. He would definitely lose face if he ran out. However, he had no other choice. If he stayed here, what awaited him would definitely be death. Su Yan's eyes turned. He activated the 9 transformations and turned into the appearance of this Shui family cultivator. Su Yan's expression was focused. His speed suddenly increased. He jumped in the void using the earth shrinking technique. When he erupted to the extreme, he crossed hundreds of li in an instant. It was a very terrifying appearance. Su Yan overtook Han Tong and rushed outside. Too cunning. Even the miser couldn't stand it anymore. Su Yan rushed out and ran to the outside of the true dragon's lair. As soon as he came out, a group of people looked at Su Yan from afar. Su Yan, an elder of the Shui family, hurriedly said, "Grandson of Shui Yi, how's the situation?" Damn it! Su Yan wanted to kick him to death. When he saw a mirror shining over to see Su Yan's true appearance, he hurriedly screamed, "Quick, get ready." Su Yan ran out and joined forces with 3 peak transcendence realm cultivators. They're already here. Activate the killing formation immediately and kill him. I knew it. Su Yan definitely has helpers. This is good too. Let's kill them all. An elder of the Shui family laughed loudly. Outside the true dragon's nest, in the giant underground tunnel, more than 10 killing formations were activated. Each of these killing formations was more valuable than the last. Each of them was surrounded by killing light that shot into the sky. This place had become a dangerous place. More than 10 killing formations were activated. They were blazing and terrifying, bright and resplendent, burning the heavens. When the killing formations were activated, Han Tong had already rushed out. The killing light surged like an ocean and roared fiercely. Who activated the killing formation? Han Tong's expression changed drastically. There were even killing formations that he had taken out here. Now they were activated and attacking him. He hurriedly retreated. If he was caught in it, he would definitely be heavily injured. Get in! Just as Han Tong turned his head, a fist came at him. It smashed Han Tong's nose and caused him to sob in pain. He flew back into the killing formation. I'll teach you how to use the killing formation. Chapter 293. One of the killing arrays was like the opening of an ancient world of swords. Killing swords emerged from the array one after another. Each killing sword was surrounded by killing energy as they slashed towards the creatures that entered the array. This wasn't just one killing array. There were more than a dozen killing arrays. Each killing array had a different form. In short, these killing arrays were all very valuable. Now that they were placed here and activated, one could imagine how shocking it would be. Boom! Killing light swept across the sky and shook the heavens. It was so terrifying that it made one's heart tremble. The ancient cave entrance of the true dragon's lair was completely submerged by the killing arrays. This scene was very spectacular and seemed to be able to kill geniuses. Bastard! Han Tong roared angrily. He was punched in, and he didn't need to think to know that it was Su Yan. There were more than a dozen killing arrays activated. His body was about to be torn apart in a single exchange. The dense silver scales on his body were cut open, and blood flowed down. Boom! Han Tong exploded. The power of the tyrant dragon art increased by a notch. Because he had lost the support of the true dragon's lair, Han Tong's combat strength was naturally stronger. The aura of a peak transcendence realm expert was suddenly released, and he was about to break through the killing waves. What kind of monster is this? Su Yan's reckless helpers have been mixed in. They're enough to kill him. Something that's neither human nor ghost. Haha, but his combat strength is really strong. Killing this person is enough to make the faction behind him feel heartache. One by one, the Shui family disciples laughed. They were very excited. Now that one of them had been trapped, would Su Yan's group be far away? The Shui family disciples were very confident. Now that the killing arrays had cut off Su Yan's escape route, they believed that Su Yan's end had come. The curses from the killing arrays made Han Tong explode in anger. His eyes were about to pop out of their socket. The sky was filled with killing light, and the pressure made his body tremble. He roared, "You bastards, I'm Han Tong!" The moment he said this, the surroundings fell silent. The scene projected by the cosmic horn made Han Jin's old face almost distort. He clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. You blind thing, can't you see that it's Han Tong? Tyrant dragon technique. Xiao Wen and the others had cold expressions on their faces as they shook their heads. Han Tong had even used the tyrant dragon art. Even such a self-harming technique had failed to bring Su Yan out. From this, it could be seen that Han Tong's ambitions had already been trampled on. Star Element stroked his beard and didn't say anything. His eyes stared unblinkingly at Su Yan through the corner of space. Is this person a genius from the burial realm? Star Element thought to himself. Just looking at him makes me wonder. In the true Dragon Nest region, the spectators were all dumbfounded. Han Tong had barged in, so did that mean he had lost? Quick, withdraw the Great Killing Formation immediately. An old cultivator under Han Tong's command glared and said furiously, hurry up and retract the killing array. This is our Big Dipper clan's secret technique, the hegemonic dragon technique. He is Han Tong. What? He really is Han Tong. The group of Shui family cultivators controlling the killing array felt a headache coming on. They almost cursed out loud. How did Han Tong get in here? Was there something wrong with his brain? It had to be known that once these great killing formations were activated, they would consume a great deal of energy. They could only curse in their hearts before hurriedly deactivating these great killing formations. The Shui family cultivators had gloomy expressions. It seemed Han Tong had failed. They recalled his overflowing momentum from before. It was as if he wanted to capture Su Yan. They mocked him in their hearts. The hidden gazes from all around made Han Tong wish he could find a hole to crawl into. This was too shameful. His face was ferocious and his entire body was covered in blood. His injuries were severe and he was still holding the 9-star sword. This was a disgrace, a true disgrace. Just as Han Tong's face was gloomy and he was about to head to a safe area to recuperate, a chill ran down his spine. All the hairs on his body stood up and a trace of fear rose in his heart. Boom! A terrifying strength suddenly erupted. From the void behind Han Tong, a large hand suddenly stretched out and turned into a terrifying dragon claw. The dragon claw swept across the sky, its ominous aura covering the sun. The moment it swept across, the ferocious aura of a primordial beast surged over. It made Han Tong's body feel like it was about to be torn apart by the dragon claw. This claw was too shocking. Su Yan took advantage of Han Tong's unpreparedness to strike at lightning speed and ruthlessly slashed at him. Han Tong's scalp exploded. He instantly shifted his position to dodge the true dragon claw. However, this was a great magical power after all. It was like a giant claw had slashed over. Even though Han Tong had avoided being hit in his vitals, he was still struck by Su Yan's claw until his entire body trembled. Large patches of silver scales were torn off. Han Tong coughed out a mouthful of blood and flew out before crashing to the ground. Who is it? The surrounding cultivators were alarmed. Han Tong's head had almost been taken off just now. Just as they were looking into the distance, they saw a shadow emerge from the void. It was as fast as lightning as it took out the stellar pagoda. The 10-story pagoda was surrounded by exuberant divine might as it smashed over like a sea of stars. Clang! Clang! Han Tong crawled up and brandished the 9-star sword to block. The two great artifacts collided, causing a deafening sound to ring out in the area. Vast energy ripples surged out. Kill! Su Yan swooped down. He activated the stellar armor, and his divine power pierced through the heavens. It's Su Yan. The cultivators gathered nearby were all furious. What kind of place was this? The killing array area was filled with danger, and there was a Shui family elder overseeing it. However, Su Yan dared to come out and attack Han Tong. The moment the two great heavenly weapons collided, Su Yan and Han Tong began to fight. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Han Tong's eyes were red. Without the suppression of the true dragon lair, Han Tong was already standing at his peak state. How could he still be afraid of Su Yan? Under the shocked gazes of the surrounding cultivators, the two Big Dipper prodigies collided here. Fist after fist, they smashed each other. Every time they collided, divine light rippled out like angry waves. With each collision, Su Yan's aura blazed even more fiercely. He was like an ancient divine mountain that had shed its rust. His entire body was suffused with the most powerful and most tyrannical fluctuations. His might shook the heavens, and he suppressed the power of the tyrant dragon technique in one move. Kill! Su Yan roared. Under the state of the tyrant body technique, he was incomparably fierce. With this punch, there was a huge celestial body in the sky. The fist light that pierced through the void was overbearing and shocking. It solidly smashed onto Han Tong's fist, causing his whole body to tremble violently. His entire fist cracked, and his arm was broken into two. True dragon secret technique. Su Yan rushed over fiercely again. A true dragon flew out from the divine ability's giant door and swooped down following Su Yan's fist. His punch caused the heaven and earth to tremble violently. The clouds in the sky collapsed, and the fist's momentum pierced through the clouds. Ah! Han Tong cried out miserably. His flesh was lacerated, and his tyrant dragon technique was completely destroyed. He returned to his original form and was sent flying backward like a dead dog. He fell to the ground and trembled, letting out mournful cries. The Universe Masters who were watching the battle in Space Corner were all stunned. Su Yan's combat power had increased tremendously with the combination of the Tyrant Body Technique and the Tyrant Body Technique. Standing in such a domain, he was able to beat Han Tong until he couldn't even raise his head. Su Yan! Han Tong let out a hysterical cry. Then he saw Su Yan rushing over once again with an even more ferocious aura. This time, he was going to kill him. Activate the killing arrays. Charge forward and suppress Su Yan. The entrance of the true dragon's nest was noisy. All kinds of voices could be heard. Among them, the voice of a black-robed elder was the loudest. With a command, more than 10 killing arrays were activated. Terrifying light gushed out, causing the sky to change color. How dare you! Han Tong's group of subordinates was so angry that they were about to vomit blood. Han Tong was still in the killing arrays. Once they were activated, Han Tong would definitely be severely injured. But it was already too late to stop them. The sky was filled with killing intent. It was as if the Milky Way from the 9 heavens was pouring down. The moment it landed on the ground, it evolved into all kinds of great killing weapons. They all charged toward Su Yan's location. The void was distorted and destroyed. The living beings in the vicinity were all trembling. Even the Transcendence Realm cultivators were terrified. If they were inside, they would be torn into pieces in a single move. Su Yan is finished, someone said. The Shui family had paid a huge price to set up more than 10 killing arrays and set them up here. They said that they wanted to let Su Yan have a taste of what it was like to be trapped and killed by the killing arrays. Moreover, secret treasures emerged from the killing arrays and appeared in front of Han Jin. Instantly, they blocked the destructive power that was surging toward him from all directions. This scene made Han Tong's subordinates feel relieved. They were really afraid that the killing arrays would activate and turn Han Tong into ashes. Shock him to death. Han Tong cried out miserably. Although his injuries were serious, Han Tong didn't care. Today, he had lost too much face. However, the elders of the various clans who were sitting cross-legged outside the Star Tomb were all shocked. This was a boundless killing intent spreading out. Star Element was like a golden divine lion. His entire body flowed with killing intent that was as deep as the sea. The older generation of the Shui family felt a headache coming on. Star Element was currently overseeing this place. If they killed Su Yan in this situation, how could Star Element let them off so easily? But the killing sword had already left its sheath. There was no turning back. The Shui family head believed that killing Su Yan would enrage Star Element. This was a very profitable transaction. Su Yan's potential shocked them. They couldn't allow him to continue growing. Boom! The dome of the sky was about to shatter. More than 10 killing arrays surged into the sky. They spat out rivers of killing intent that surged forward. The entire killing array space was submerged. Some people even saw that Su Yan had completely disappeared. Su Yan is about to be turned into ashes. The Shui family cultivators laughed. Su Yan, oh Su Yan, we will let you have a taste of what it feels like to be killed by a killing array. Boom. Suddenly, wave after wave of energy that could change the situation of the battle quietly awakened. The expressions of the spectators suddenly stiffened. They saw countless killing intents twisting and turning. Along with the topography of the land, they even intersected and converged. For a time, it was as if a giant pillar of energy was being born here. It was like a giant mountain that reached the heavens as it rotated within the killing array space. Everyone, look! Someone's voice trembled. Because they saw the energy of more than 10 killing arrays converging above Su Yan's head. It turned into a giant fountain that filled the air with light that shot into the heavens. Earth overturning seal. Su Yan faced the sky and roared. His hair danced in the wind. His hands pushed the topography of the land and evolved the earth overturning seal. All the killing intents converged above his head and were pushed by him. It was as if an angry war god was about to erupt. No! In front of this energy, a group of cultivators that rushed towards Su Yan exploded into pieces. Especially Han Tong. His legs were trembling because this energy was directed at him. Before the godly energy could reach him, the secret treasures floating above his head were already shattered into pieces. Han Tong was terrified. With over a dozen great killing formations combined into one, he would be killed here in a single move. Boom! Chapter 294. How could he have the ability to control the power of the killing formations? That's right, even if Su Yan is an expert from the mystical sect, what kind of method is it to control a great killing formation? How did he do it? Everyone felt it was inconceivable. What kind of secret technique was this? He could actually control the power of the killing formations. The earth overturning seal was an ultimate technique of the mystical sect. It could gather the terrain and evolve into a great offensive technique. The Shui family elder who controlled the great killing formation turned pale. What kind of secret technique was this? It could control the direction of the terrain? Although the killing formation borrowed the power of divine materials, it also needed the terrain to evolve into a great killing technique. However, Su Yan's performance was too stunning. He could actually control the power of the killing formation and evolve the earth overturning seal. The power of more than a dozen great killing formations was really equivalent to a giant mountain being struck out by Su Yan. He pushed, his aura wild and tyrannical like a war god, pushing the boundless killing force and evolving the earth overturning seal, bombarding Han Tong. Gotcha! Han Tong couldn't escape at all. His entire body was locked down. His muscles were caving in and his bones were cracking. He was about to be blasted into pieces by the earth overturning seal. Su Yan, stop. Han Tong is the eldest senior brother of the Big Dipper lineage. If you kill him, you will definitely provoke a great disaster. The Big Dipper lineage will definitely not forgive you. Quickly stop. Someone let out a terrified voice. Han Tong's identity was different after all. His master was Han Jin. Han Tong let out a mournful cry. Blood gushed out from his body. Even his bones were exposed from his sunken body. He was being annihilated inch by inch. The might of the earth overturning seal was too tyrannical. With Han Tong's battle prowess, it was impossible for him to block Su Yan's great killing technique. The geniuses were all trembling here, causing the spectators to break out in cold sweat. What kind of terrifying killing technique was this? Su Yan was standing in the special domain, and the power he was using was beyond their understanding. The scene displayed by the cosmic edge made the experts of various races fall silent. Especially the Shui family. If Han Tong really died like this, it was very likely that the Shui family would be implicated. After all, they were the ones who set up the killing formation. This bastard dared to target the eldest senior brother of the Big Dipper clan. The heavens won't tolerate it if this person isn't eliminated. Han Jin roared hysterically with rage, and his eyes had turned red and almost split apart from rage. Even if Han Tong survived, his future path of cultivation would be cut off. This was even more painful than killing Han Tong. Su Yan, you dare to kill me? You won't be able to survive in the Big Dipper starfield. Han Tong had lost all hope. He was threatening Su Yan, hoping that the latter would be wary and stop. The dignified eldest senior brother of the Big Dipper lineage is working for Shuiguan all day long. You've completely disgraced the Big Dipper lineage. Today, I will clean up the Big Dipper bloodline and kill you. A clear and cold voice resounded here, deafening everyone. The spectators felt a chill from head to toe. They saw with their own eyes that Han Tong was crushed into a pile of ashes and blasted into smithereens. He was killed by Su Yan. Blood filled the sky and dyed the void red. Han Tong. Han Jin roared madly. My disciple was actually killed. Su Yan, you bastard! The heaven and earth rumbled, and the sun and moon lost their light. A corner of the desolate mountain was trembling, and a mountain range was shattered by the roar. Han Jin's killing intent was like a heavenly blade that surged out. He wanted to sink a vast region to vent his anger. He brought this upon himself. Star Element's aura was also extremely powerful. He said coldly. He joined forces with the Shui family to deal with the Big Dipper lineage's prodigy. He's really good to his own brother. Han Tong brought this upon himself. Han Jin, what are you shouting for? Don't you know what kind of character your disciple is? Star Element, let me see how much battle strength your old bones still have. Han Jin seemed to have gone mad. He had once placed high hopes on Han Tong, hoping that he could inherit the great position of the Star Lord. Now, it was useless to say anything. Han Tong had already fallen in the hands of Su Yan. Just make your move, Xing Yuan coldly said. He leapt into the sky, his bronze skin glowing like a starry sky lion. With a loud roar, the stars in the outer space trembled, and even the moons trembled from his roar. The Big Dipper lineage's Great Elder and Supreme Elder were both overlords of the universe with overflowing authority. Now they were confronting each other and killing each other here. This made some families sigh. The Big Dipper lineage was showing signs of internal strife. If no one stood out to take charge of the situation and suppress the crowd, then the Big Dipper lineage wouldn't be far from being separated from the family. Boom! The entrance of the true dragon's lair, this huge underground cave that had been opened up, suddenly began to tremble. Su Yan exerted all his strength to activate the power of the earth overturning seal. It evolved into a world-shaking attack. It was as if he was moving a small world, causing dozens of array discs to tremble. There was even a large group of people who were attacked by the boundless energy fluctuations. They vanished into thin air and exploded into a large expanse of ashes. This place was about to become a purgatory on Earth. It was originally a great killing trap set up to deal with Su Yan, but now it was being controlled by Su Yan. He swept through the entire battlefield and destroyed all the killing arrays. I don't believe that you can control the power of all the killing arrays. Strike out with all the power of the killing arrays and kill Su Yan. The Shui family's elder roared. He activated all the killing arrays and even drew out all the hidden power of the killing arrays. This was self-destructing the array disk. The price was too high, but in order to trap Su Yan, they had no choice but to do this. In an instant, dozens of killing arrays lit up, like dozens of burning ovens. This was a scene that made one's heart tremble. This huge underground cave was collapsing. The energy waves that were produced shattered the mud layer. It was as if millions of killing swords were flying through the sky, wanting to destroy this world. Su Yan's expression changed. He had lost control of the earth overturning seal. The main reason was that Su Yan had not comprehended the Chi-Sek's earth overturning seal to the extreme. That ocean-like killing light poured down one after another, drowning the entire killing array space. Dozens of burning array disks were about to collide and sink this place. Clang! Clang! Su Yan held the 9-star sword and was not afraid. He let out a long roar. The 9-star sword erupted. Sword light surged like a river of stars drilling out. Endless sword light burst forth, cutting through the void. At the moment when it was released to its strongest state, stars appeared in the sword light, containing a terrifying aura that could destroy everything. Su Yan rushed forward and slashed the 9-star sword in his hand. Just like this, sword light roared out one after another. It was like a river of stars, so dazzling that it was difficult to open one's eyes. Hee Su Yan, you can't escape. The power of these dozens of killing arrays is enough to kill you. The Shui family elder sinisterly smiled. Over a dozen killing arrays had already been activated to their strongest state. Boundless killing intent swallowed down, and even the sword light that erupted from the 9-star sword was torn to shreds. The peerless killing light covered the area, destroying all traces of life. What a terrifying killing array! The Shui family has spent a lot of money. Can Su Yan survive? Only God knows. Let's wait and see. I have a feeling that the Chi sect is the ancestor of array formations. The spectators were dazzled. The killing array covered the area and the brilliance was too bright. It was difficult for them to see the specific process. However, they saw the sword light crisscrossing. Su Yan's body was glowing. He was wearing the Starry Sky battle armor. He was rampaging in the killing array, trying to kill his way out. Rumble! A great killing calamity was born here. The killing light was like a waterfall, shattering the layers of sword light. The killing light that filled the sky slashed towards Su Yan. Even though Su Yan's physical body was strong, he was still facing a terrifying impact. Blood was flowing from the corner of his mouth. His entire body was drowned in killing intent. If it wasn't for the Starry Sky battle armor protecting him, he wouldn't have been able to survive. The divine power contained in the Starry Sky battle armor was being depleted at an accelerated rate. The killing light that filled the sky fell, covering Su Yan. This was an endless attack. Wave after wave, endless attacks bombarded Su Yan. Su Yan is trapped! Someone exclaimed. The Shui family is most likely going to succeed. Even a prodigy can't withstand such killing intent. He's destined to die. Su Yan, obediently submit to the law. Don't make these meaningless struggles. Within every formation disk, there was a Shui family member controlling the killing array. They were currently staring at him with cruel and cold eyes. They sneered and said, "Otherwise, you'll be exhausted and die miserably. You might as well kowtow and admit your wrongs." Kill. Su Yan's eyes were wide open in anger. He was truly angered. His entire body was glowing. He stood at the peak of his era and charged through the world of killing light. He soared into the sky, resisting the exceptional killing array. During the process, his flesh was lacerated and his precious body was on the verge of cracking. Clang! Suddenly, Su Yan brandished the 9-star sword. 9 great stars appeared on this ancient sword core. Chi! Su Yan brandished the 9-star sword. When an ancient river of stars flowed out, it collapsed a corner of the killing array and slashed towards one of the great killing arrays. Not good. The cultivators in the killing formation were so frightened that they fell to the ground. This sword was too sharp, hacking apart the heavens and splitting the earth. 9 great stars floated up and down, hacking down on this killing formation disk until it exploded. The Shui family clansmen standing inside were all blasted into ashes. Heavens, Su Yen destroyed a great killing array. Someone's emotions surged as he said, "The Mystic Gate is indeed the Mystic Gate lineage." He saw through the direction of the killing array and attacked its weak point, opening up a corner of the array. The killing array's power decreased by a bit. The pressure on Su Yen lessened by quite a bit. He angrily roared in this place. Murderous light shot out in all directions from his eyes. He once again soared up and hacked towards another direction. The sword radiance was like a silver river as it pierced through this great killing array, causing it to collapse in the sky. In a short period of time, rivers of blood flowed in this area. The killing arrays were destroyed one after another. Su Yen moved unhindered in this place. He brandished the 9-star sword and destroyed 5 great killing arrays. The scene was shocking. The Shui family's losses were disastrous. They couldn't trap Su Yen at all, and instead, a large area was destroyed by him. Kill! The battle here was intense. The cultivators of the Shui family went crazy. They took out all kinds of secret treasures from the killing arrays and attacked Su Yen. Su Yan's aura was still strong as if he didn't know fatigue. Wherever the sword radiance pointed, no killing array could withstand his destructive attacks. This was because Su Yen had seen through the origin of these killing arrays. He aimed at their weak points and attacked with all his might. Su Yen brandished the 9-star sword, causing the ground to split apart and the broken corpses to fly away. He swept through the area and continuously used shrinking earth into an inch to change his position. He killed his way out of a vacuum zone, and the dozen or so killing arrays were about to be completely destroyed. The moment the blood of the Shui family spills over the earth will be the moment you, Su Yen, offer your life. Chapter 295. Shui Yuanjing's words sounded out, causing the surrounding creatures to feel a chill run down their spines. Could it be that they still had some sort of backup plan? Something's not right. I sense a type of bloody aura. Some old cultivators frowned. There was a type of aura awakening in this blood-stained territory. This originally shattered mountain region was dyed red with blood. There were severed limbs everywhere, the scene too horrible to endure. There were only 2 great killing arrays left, but this blood-stained territory displayed a strange scene. All of the blood had disappeared. Not good. Su Yan's expression suddenly changed. He fiercely rose from the ground, wishing to leap up and enter Big Dipper City. Evil creature, why haven't you surrendered yet? Shui Yuanjing's cold voice resounded through the air. This enormous ancient cave collapsed layer by layer, causing a corner of Big Dipper City to fiercely sink in. Smoke and dust filled the skies. At this moment, large amounts of palaces began to tremble. Then, they collapsed, causing this entire street to sink in, creating a great black abyss. What terrifying strength! What kind of great killing weapon is the Shui family bringing out? It actually requires a blood sacrifice method. All of the cultivators in Big Dipper City felt a chill run down their spines. They looked into the distance at the source and felt as if they could see a sea of blood rising and falling. Rumble! Exceptional killing array! Some people cried out in alarm in the distance. They could feel the power of slaughter operating here. It wanted to penetrate their bodies and crush their vitality. Boom! In the direction of the source, a sea of blood roiled and surged. It pierced through the clouds and ultimately submerged the heavens. All of this happened too suddenly. All of Big Dipper City was dyed in the color of blood. It was a sad yet beautiful scene, as if a flower was withering. Blood light covered the sun and winds roiled between heaven and earth. This disturbance was extremely shocking. It was as if a corner of purgatory had been lifted up. The fluctuations that leaked out drowned out the heavens and even rushed into outer space. This scene caused one's heart to tremble. This was the first time many cultivators had encountered such a great killing array. What a terrifying killing array! What level of ancient array is this? It actually makes me feel uneasy. There were powerful existences who were panicking. they saw a corner of Big Dipper City sink in and a sea of blood light rush into the heavens, blotting out the sun. Boom! Sounds of mountains collapsing and seas roaring erupted here, making all creatures tremble, wishing to kneel on the ground while trembling. The scene displayed by starry sky edge became indistinct. The expressions of the experts of all clans changed. A corner of the exceptional vicious formation was lifted, devouring all of the blood, using the blood sacrifice method to open up the exceptional killing formation. Clang! The sky was filled with blood-red light. People could see blood-red flags appearing one after another in the midst of the blood-red light. The flags appeared one after another. They were simple and majestic, emitting a tragic fluctuation. When the flags danced, the heavens and the earth trembled. The 9 blood-red banners were like 9 fiend gods standing tall. The banners fluttered in the wind, and when they danced, they could easily shatter a mountain range. 9 extreme formation. The scene displayed by the cosmic horn caused Kong Ao to lose his composure. This is a peerless killing formation, the 9 extreme formation. The Shui family actually has such a foundation. That's right. The Shui family head laughed nastily. The 9 extreme formation is my Shui family's most precious treasure. It has helped my Shui family survive many extermination disasters and drank the blood of several universe masters. It has contributed greatly to my Shui family. Now, my Shui family's blood is burning with anger. The 9 extreme formation will not return empty-handed. The Shui family head roared, his eyes turning red. This was one of the Shui family's most powerful foundations. Now that it had been exposed, he wanted to kill Su Yan. 9 extreme formation, the Shui family actually has such a foundation. The expressions of some heroes changed. This was a very famous killing formation. It was rumored that once the 9 extreme formation was refined, it could trap and kill cultivators of the same realm according to their ranks. There were even some who called the 9 extreme formation an iron-blooded killing formation that specialized in killing geniuses. Even young supreme beings' expressions changed at the mention of it. Shui family, you're courting death. Loud roars came from the sky. The battle between Star Element and Han Jin had reached its climax. Because of the appearance of the 9 extreme formation, Star Element was enraged. If my Big Dipper lineage's geniuses are harmed, then your Shui family won't have a need to establish itself in the Big Dipper starfield. The moment these words were spoken, the expressions of the Shui family turned ugly. The Shui family head roared, "Our race's champion is here. Our Shui family isn't afraid of you." Kong Ao frowned. Could it be that the Shui family had some backing? Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to offend the Big Dipper lineage. Even if the Big Dipper lineage was in internal strife, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse. It wasn't something the Shui family could shake. They might even destroy the entire Shui family. Right now, the 9 extreme formation had been activated. This was a killing formation that even young supreme beings would pale at the mention of. The Shui family's 9 extreme formation was clearly capable of killing universe masters. Kill! Star Element was enraged. An image of millions of corpses appeared in his eyes. The murderous aura in his body was too domineering. When such a master was enraged, rivers would collapse and mountains of corpses would be piled up. This wasn't just a dream. Of course, the 9 extreme formation couldn't be at its peak in the Big Dipper star. This was because the 9 extreme formation was engraved with the heavenly marks of the Great Tao. The Big Dipper star could suppress the Great Tao. However, the 9 extreme formation was also at its peak. The moment the 9 blood-red flags were activated, it could be said that 9 peak transcendence realm cultivators were erupting with power. Overflowing blood-red light gushed out, accompanied by terrifying bolts of lightning. What a terrifying killing formation! Can Su Yan survive? The cultivators in the distance felt like their bodies were being torn apart. This was a peerless killing formation. Bolts of blood-red lightning struck down, piercing through the void and sinking territories. The deafening sound was deafening. When the 9 blood-red flags started to dance in the air, blood-red gales swept down from the sky, blowing the mountains into nothingness. Rumble! Violent winds howled, accompanied by blood-red lightning. The sound of thunder reverberated through Big Dipper City. The Killing Formations area was overflowing with power. The atmosphere was stifling. This was the result of the 9 extreme formation. The 9 flags locked this small world and began to attack Su Yan. Su Yan's expression changed. This killing formation was too powerful. It had even refined a killing formation weapon. He could feel the 9 extreme formations' godly might locking down Su Yan's body. No matter how strong his battle prowess was, it would be difficult for him to break free from the 9 extreme formations' seal. Bang! Apart from the violent winds and the loud sounds caused by the lightning, there was no other sound in this world. The 9 extreme formations space had turned into a land of destruction. Su Yan was submerged. The blood-red winds tore open his flesh, and his astral armor flickered. Thick bolts of blood-red lightning struck down, causing Su Yan's body to tremble. His tyrannical body was about to be destroyed. Ah! The miser screamed, his claws clutching Su Yan's sleeves tightly. He made a sound like a pig being slaughtered. Quickly think of a way to kill our way out. Otherwise, we will all die in the 9 extreme formation. No matter how strong Su Yan was, no matter how amazing the defensive light barrier he constructed was, the sky full of killing light struck down, causing the space of the killing formation to collapse. Su Yan was about to be destroyed. He coughed up blood and was furious. He took out the star pagoda to defend himself. However, supreme killing light came from all directions, causing the star pagoda to almost fly away. Su Yan was bathed in lightning and violent winds. He was struck by the double killing calamity. His entire body was dyed red with blood. It was as if he had encountered a calamity of heaven and earth. Su Yan is finished. Someone said regretfully. How sad, how lamentable. A genius of a generation has fallen in the 9 extreme formation. Many people sighed. Those from the Shui family laughed complacently. They didn't believe that Su Yan could survive the 9 extreme formation. Once such a great killing formation was activated, it was destined to destroy the enemy and cut off Su Yan's vitality. The killing light was like a knife that wanted to tear Su Yan apart. The lightning crashed down like a giant mountain, as if it wanted to suppress a powerful dragon. Every time the 9 extreme formation was activated, peerless killing light would fall and drown Su Yan. The void was damaged to the point where it was difficult to heal. It turned into a huge black hole. Exterminate Su Yan, be destroyed. Shui Yuanjing laughed angrily. The blood of the Shui family has been ignited. Su Yan, now is the time for you to give up your life. You want to kill me? Trash like you won't be able to do so. Su Yan's eyes widened in anger. His body was stained with blood, but it was vibrating with a terrifying ferocious light. His body that was about to shatter shone brilliantly and released waves of terrifying aura. Under the 9 extreme formation, all living beings are plunged into misery and suffering. You should feel proud that I'm only killing you, Su Yan. Shui Yuanjing said coldly. Even if your magic power is monstrous and your battle prowess is unparalleled, you won't be able to escape this calamity. As soon as he finished speaking, his expression changed. This also included the cultivators who were watching nervously in the surroundings. They all noticed that Su Yan's situation was a bit abnormal. Su Yan was hit until he was burning with anger. His body was glowing and his foundation was burning. All of his heavenly essence stones had been used up. A grand chanting sound came from his life spring. It was as if the gods were chanting the heavenly scriptures. Every syllable contained a strange power that penetrated Su Yan's body and drew out the greatest potential in his body. What's Su Yan doing? Why do I feel that there's a kind of aura awakening in his body? It's very terrifying and pierces through the heavens and earth. Some old cultivators were shocked. It was as if they saw a prehistoric monster awakening from its slumber. This was the burning of the strongest potential, the transformation of a godly force that could pierce through the heavens. Look, Su Yan is eating the true dragon grass. One stalk of true dragon grass after another was lying in Su Yan's hand like little true dragons. He opened his mouth and swallowed. This wasn't just one stalk. Su Yan had a total of 4 stalks of true dragon grass. He swallowed 3 whole stalks in one go. My heart hurts. This should have been the champion of my clan, but it will be taken back soon. Once I catch you, I'll refine the essence blood in your body, and refine a cauldron of true dragon medicine, Shui Yuanjing said with a smile. His eyes were filled with eeriness as he laughed. My Shui family's blood is burning with anger. Su Yan, no matter how strong you are, you will never be able to escape. Even if you are strong enough, you won't be able to escape the 9 extreme formation. Every time the 9 extreme formation was activated, it would consume a large amount of heaven's essence stones. The Shui family had paid a heavy price. When the 3 stalks of true dragon grass entered his stomach, it was as if they had turned into 3 little true dragons that flowed through Su Yan's body. Exuberant blood essence dripped down from them and penetrated Su Yan's entire body. Su Yan wanted to break through and enter the Dharma characteristic realm. Only then would he be able to survive this tribulation. Just the true dragon grass? Of course not. He took out strands of true dragon chi and swallowed them into his body to strengthen his foundation for breaking through. This brat is ruthless and has wasted so many precious treasures. Shui Yuanjing was furious. The true dragon grass and true dragon chi were all eaten by Su Yan. So what if he eats it? He'll just suffer more pain from purgatory. A Shui family elder disagreed and said coldly, "He's already a crossbow. Give him a chance and let him suffer more pain before he dies." Roar! A terrifying roar suddenly exploded. Whether it was the true dragon grass or the true dragon chi, the divine power contained within them was too strong, causing Su Yan's entire flesh shell to burn. The divine power in his body began to transforming into the power of transcendence. Every time a Dharma characteristic power was transformed, every strand of divine power would become stronger by a large margin. The Dharma characteristic power was filled with divine power that could penetrate heaven and earth. Chapter 296. What is he doing? Despite the lightning and blood-red winds, Su Yan's body trembled and was on the verge of collapsing. But he did not retaliate. Su Yan bore the brunt of the danger of being crushed to pieces and sacrificed his foundation to break through to the Dharma stage. Originally, Su Yan had wanted to find a safe place to cultivate in seclusion. But now, he had no choice. Su Yan had to break through to a new level. Once he entered the Dharma plane, it would be completely different. Not only would his battle power be shocking, he would also be considered an expert. Only in the future would he have the right to come in contact with the Tao. 1. The foundation that Su Yan had accumulated was being used, causing the divine power that was being nurtured in his body to transform. In the process of transformation, he would need to use up a large amount of treasures and a strong foundation. Every cultivator was like this, not to mention Su Yan, who had unearthed such shocking potential in the divine ability secret realm. This time, he was going to undergo an all-round transformation, and it would be the most exhausting transformation Su Yan had ever undergone since he started cultivating. All the heaven's essence stones on him were burned, and the real dragon grass and real dragon chi ran through his body. Under the circulation of the initial scripture, Su Yan's life spring and his physical body merged into one. His entire body emitted a resplendent light that rose from the ground layer by layer. It was as if he could pierce through the heavens and the earth, opening up the vault of heaven. Endless power was burned, and Su Yan's hair danced in the wind. The Dharma plane aura that came out of his body reduced the danger he was in and bought him some precious time. Why did Su Yan's aura suddenly become stronger? And it's very fast. The images that appeared in the cosmic edge made the strong cultivators frown. They could not see through Su Yan. What was he doing now? Could it be? Kong Ao's expression changed slightly. He had a thought. Perhaps Su Yan had not entered the Dharma plane and was only beginning to break through to the next level, preparing to open his Dharma plane. From the beginning sutra, life spring, superpower, and now the fourth level, the Dharma plane. The beginning sutra cultivated the body, the life spring sutra cultivated the spiritual energy, the superpower secret realm evolved into divine power, and the Dharma plane evolved into Dharma power. This was a huge transformation. The lawful embodiment of heaven and earth was equivalent to transforming one's aura into a domain that could penetrate the heavens. It could be said to be the pinnacle of laws. He's breaking through. An individual who saw through some clues suddenly spoke up, his eyes full of shock. He couldn't help but cry out, "What a Big Dipper heavenly talent! He is breaking through! Just how great of a background does he have, only now preparing to break through? What? This is impossible!" Everyone in the Shui family is stunned. Su Yan is making a breakthrough? What kind of joke was this? It was true that he had relied on secret techniques and treasures to suppress Han Tong, but how could Su Yan suppress Han Tong at the peak of the transcendent realm? If he was not even in the Dharma plane, then just how powerful was his foundation? Impossible, the head of the Shui family retorted. Her eyes were red. How is this possible? How is it possible that he hasn't entered the transcendence realm? So what if he broke through? He still has to die. Han Jin was laughing angrily as he fought with Star Element. He said sternly, even if he broke through, he still has to die. If the Big Dipper heavenly talent dies, the Big Dipper bloodline will trample the entire Shui family. Star Element was extremely domineering, as if a golden lion was roaring. Pass down my orders. If the Big Dipper heavenly talent dies in the 9 Extremes formation, the Big Dipper bloodline will trample the entire Shui family. A terrifying murderous aura was released here. A mighty leader was releasing a murderous aura, causing everyone to feel as if they had fallen into an ice cave. The Shui family's expressions were ugly. They did not doubt Star Element's attitude. With the Big Dipper heavenly talent's potential, if he really died here, the loss to the Big Dipper bloodline would be immeasurable. Kong Ao's expression was very interesting. What kind of mighty leader was Star Element? He had said that if Su Yan really died, the Big Dipper bloodline would definitely kill the Shui family. Why has Su Yan's aura increased so much? Near the 9 Extremes formation, some members of the Shui family frowned. They felt that Su Yan's condition was not right. So what? He can't escape the 9 Extremes formation's seal. Shui Yuanjing said coldly. Let's just wait and see. Su Yan will be burned to ashes by the 9 Extremes formation before long. Boom! The entire 9 Extremes formation had been reduced to a land of destruction. However, Su Yan's life essence was still burning. The 9 Extremes formation did not seem to be able to destroy him. What was even more shocking was that Su Yan's injuries were worsening, but the life essence that was gushing out of his body was becoming more and more terrifying. Even with the help of the true dragon grass, Su Yan's injuries were being nourished. The divine power in his body was surging, and his Dharma power was beginning to be nurtured. The Dharma power in Su Yan's body continued to increase rapidly. Ah! Su Yan let out a loud roar. His life spring resonated with his body, swallowing all kinds of divine power that could be used to replenish the foundation that the human body needed. His evolution was already half complete. As he continued to climb, it became more and more terrifying. The divine power in his body had at least doubled. This also caused Su Yan to be much more relaxed. However, it was still not enough. The 9 Extremes formation was too fierce. During the period when he was breaking through, Su Yan grasped a type of divine power that came from the transformation of the human body. It was an evolution on the level of life, causing his aura to be terrifying and shocking. His body, in particular, had been nourished by the true dragon grass and true dragon chi. The primordial power that had been excavated had been strengthened. The divine power in his entire body was almost completely transformed. The top of his head spat out streams of dragon-shaped blood essence, each of them piercing through the sky. Oh my God! How can Su Yan's body be so terrifying? Someone was shocked. At this moment, Su Yan was like an immortal furnace burning here. His blood essence was too hot. Not enough, the foundation is not enough. After a period of time, his eyes turned red. His foundation had been exhausted, but he was still far from being able to support his natal Dharma idol. Although Su Yan grasped the Divine King's precious blood, the divine power contained within was enough to make him explode. He couldn't rashly move it. I'll kill my way out and step into the Transcendence realm. Su Yan's eyes were wide open. The great killing formations were constantly attacking him, causing his powerful aura to weaken again. Kill! He let out a loud roar. His eyes emitted divine light as he donned the 9 astral sword. The 9 astral sword was awakened to the extreme. Strand after strand of Milky Way sword radiance shot out in all directions. Hundreds and thousands of sword radiances continuously hacked at the 9 blood-colored formation flags. However, the 9 formation flags were still powerful. It was like a demonic god standing tall here, so powerful that it made one despair. This killing formation could definitely kill a genius. Even a genius like Zhu Xing would have a slim chance of survival if he was trapped inside. Su Yan, don't struggle. It's useless. Shui Yuanjing coldly said. If you know what's good for you, then kneel here and take your own life. Otherwise, none of your friends will have a good ending. The 9 extreme formations' power continued to awaken. At its peak state, it scattered down lightning and gales, attacking Su Yan. Su Yan coughed up blood. His hair was disheveled, and his body was about to shatter again. Su Yan had been deducing the 9 extreme formations operating mode, but he couldn't find a flaw. Just now, when Su Yan was barely standing in the Transcendence realm, he had grasped the method to construct divine power. As a result, Su Yan's control of the terrain had quietly risen by a small step. At this moment, Su Yan could feel that the 9 extreme formation had connected with the terrain and the heavens. It was because of the convergence of the heavens and the earth that the 9 extreme formation was too terrifying. This was a pinnacle formation in the array Dao. It was too difficult to refine such a killing formation. Therefore, the 9 extreme formations' value was difficult to measure. If one could obtain it, it would definitely be a great killing weapon that could threaten the masters of the universe. Su Yan's body sank and his feet touched the ground. Blood dripped from his clothes onto the ground. What, are you going to dig a grave and bury yourself? Shui Yuanjing laughed angrily. Don't worry, you'll definitely be reduced to ashes. The sky was filled with killing intent. Blood covered the sun, lightning fell, and gales howled. Giant mountain ranges swept down one after another, bringing with them the sound of thunder from the 9 heavens. They began to drown Su Yan. Some people shook their heads. Su Yan was already at the end of his rope. Even if he held on, he could only last a little longer. But what was the use? Roar! Rolling dragon roars rippled out from Su Yan's body. Su Yan's blood-stained body glowed. He raised his hand, and a golden Genesis brush hovered in his palm. The Genesis brush glowed like a small golden world. It was about to merge with Su Yan's palm. Su Yan's entire palm changed. It was as if it had turned into a mountain. The moment it fell, it evolved into the earth, overturning seal and fiercely slammed into the ground. The ground in the distance rose and fell, but it did not collapse. Bang! As the ground rose and fell, the earth seemed to have turned into an earth dragon. Vast amounts of earth vein qi were forcibly sucked out by Su Yan's raised hand. What is this? Many people cried out in surprise. It seemed that Su Yan had extracted the earth vein qi. He seemed to have caught a dragon and grabbed a layer of mud. What method was this? How could it be so strange? Su Yan's expression was cold. He did not say a word. He slammed his palm down again. As the ground rumbled, the earth vein qi he had caught was reversed and evolved into the power of the earth overturning seal. It forcibly sealed the terrain of the territory. After doing all this, the power of the 9 extremes formation was greatly reduced. When the lightning struck Su Yan's body, it was blasted away. What? Shui Yuanjing's expression changed drastically, as if someone had stepped on his tail. He could not believe it. How could something so strange happen? Everyone who saw this scene was dumbfounded. How could this be? Could the 9 extreme formation be broken? Ah! While they were still in a daze, they heard a mournful wail. The killing formation that Shui Yuanjing was in exploded. Su Yan descended from the sky. The blood in his body was boiling. He raised his hand and smashed half of Shui Yuanjing's face. 7 or 8 of his teeth fell out. He was in a terrible state. Even his skull was caved in. Su Yan Shui Yuanjing was still in shock. His entire body was trembling. He crawled to his feet and was about to escape. Bam! Su Yan's expression was cold. He kicked Shui Yuanjing so hard that he fell to the ground. Old man, you're really good at talking. Su Yan's palm struck at Shui Yuanjing. It turned into a true dragon claw and pinched Shui Yuanjing. What are you doing? Shui Yuanjing said in fear. Young man, don't make a mistake. I'm an elder of the Shui family, Shui Guan's second grandpa. I'm your ancestor, Su Yan roared. His dragon claw pinched Shui Yuanjing and slammed him to the ground. A huge crater was formed on the ground. The sound of bones cracking could be heard. Chapter 297. The heavens and earth were completely silent. Everyone's eyes were locked onto a figure covered in blood. At this moment, his ferocious aura was unparalleled. He was like a demon god looking down at Shui Yuanjing, who had been blasted into ashes. The scene froze in their eyes, causing all the spectating cultivators to tremble in fear. Even the 9 extreme array couldn't kill Su Yan. Just how powerful was he now? Some were running for their lives. In the last remaining killing array, there were dozens of cultivators from the Shui family. All of them were trembling in fear. Shui Yuanjing had been blasted into ashes by him. Even the 9 extreme array couldn't trap him. If Shui Guan didn't come out, who could suppress Su Yan? Can you escape? Su Yan's body was covered in a bloody aura. Even his hair was dyed in blood. He was like a demon god that had crawled out of hell. He swung the 9-star sword in his hand and killed a Shui family member who had escaped into Big Dipper City. At the same time, his palm pressed down. The killing array trembled and was instantly controlled by Su Yan. No! The killing array was dyed in blood. It was like cutting grass. Groups of Shui family members were killed one after another. They were covered by the killing array and blasted into ashes. The situation is better than I expected. Maybe he's accumulated too much power. Even if he really broke through to the Transcendence realm just now, his battle strength didn't increase by much. The scene projected by Cosmos Horn was so unbelievable that the experts from various races were speechless. They were paying attention to Su Yan's situation and came to the conclusion that Su Yan wasn't as heaven-defying as they had expected. This Su Yan is decisive in killing. As long as he can endure for a few years, his future will be extraordinary. An expert from the universe asserted, causing the surrounding creatures to nod in agreement. The universe was a huge furnace. Only by stepping on mountains of corpses and seas of blood could one roam the universe in the future. Too many cultivators had died today. Shui family's vitality had been greatly damaged. Most of the young cultivators had perished, and the older generation had suffered heavy losses as well. The Golden Dragon King turned toward the Shui family, and all of the members of the Shui family wore ashen expressions. The fury in their hearts was indescribable. The Shui family had suffered far too heavy a loss, and the entire clan was in grave danger. The 9 Extremes formation cannot be lost. The head of the Shui family roared. He was so angry that his face turned purple. There were no words to describe his anger. Shui family had lost too much blood. Now that Su Yan had opened Shui Yuanjing's storage pouch, he found the secret treasure that controlled the 9 Extreme Array and took it away. Even universe masters would be envious of such a powerful weapon. Now that it had fallen into Su Yan's hands, he had gained a supreme killing weapon for no apparent reason. This was the Shui family's secret treasure, a supreme killing array weapon. Its value was incomparable. Who would be willing to sell such a treasure? The 9 Extreme Array could kill powerful beings in the universe, and it was enough to protect an entire family's fortune. Everyone's attention was focused on Su Yan, who had taken away the 9 Extreme Arrays. His entire body was covered in blood. He looked like a god of war who had crawled out of hell, looking down on the world. There were definitely members of the Shui family nearby, but none of them dared to rush out. They were all scared out of their wits. There were corpses everywhere outside the true dragon's lair. Too many people had died. Boom! Right at that moment, the true dragon's lair rumbled. Divine light gushed out, and one after another, figures with astonishing auras rushed out. Each of them exuded a terrifying aura that caused the mountains to tremble. There was no doubt that Shui Guan, who had been trapped in the stone hall, had already rushed out. He was very close to the true dragon's lair. Let's go. Su Yan disappeared from where he was and merged into one with the void. He used spatial contraction to cross the void. He prepared to leave this place and head for the lightning field. He estimated that Tai Baokai had absorbed most of the lightning in the lightning field. Su Yan's target was naturally the reincarnation pool. That was his hope of breaking through. As long as he could enter the Dharma phase realm, he would not fear anyone on the Big Dipper. Su Yan, you stay here. You can't leave. At that moment, because of the changes in the true dragon's lair, many cultivators rushed out from all directions. There were members of the Shui family, Han Tong's subordinates, and disciples of the Alcade Hall. In an instant, hundreds of cultivators rushed out. They took out all kinds of killing weapons and bombarded the void, disturbing it. Get out of my way. The vast void started to tremble violently. It was as if a furious dragon was roaring in the void. Su Yan exploded. Essence blood gushed out from his blood-stained flesh shell and pierced through the sky. Divine energy that could penetrate the heavens and the earth covered an area of 100 miles. This was a scene of destruction. Large swathes of cultivators exploded, breaking apart in the void. Even Dharma phase cultivators were blasted into meat paste by Su Yan's roar. The world was silent. Su Yan's roar echoed in the Big Dipper city. This was a boundless killing intent that rushed out. It surged violently and killed the cultivators who blocked Su Yan. In an instant, everyone was horrified. This was too savage. Just now, Su Yan had used the strength of his physical body to roar and shake the mountains. Some people recalled the true dragon grass and true dragon chi that Su Yan had swallowed. They could not help but feel that Su Yan's physical body had transformed once again. This is a peerless paragon. Who can match him? Some old cultivators were speechless. Su Yan had already risen and possessed the combat strength of a young paragon. He was so domineering that they were suffocating. No one could stop him unless a paragon appeared. The scattered spacetime was silent. Su Yan had already disappeared. He had left Big Dipper City and was heading towards the Lightning Dominion. As for the true dragon's lair, the commotion was even more intense. Swoosh! The first to rush out was Shui Guan. He exuded a terrifying aura and left the true dragon's lair. It was different from what he had expected. The 9 extreme formation should be able to suppress Su Yan, right? Or see his corpse. However, the outside was filled with devastation. Blood flowed like a river and broken limbs were everywhere. Shueguan's eyes reflected the scene here. His pupils emitted a cold light that made one's hair stand on end. "Where's Su Yan?" Zhu Xing and the others rushed out. When they saw the scene here, they had a very bad premonition in their hearts. There were corpses everywhere. The moment they received the news, their expressions changed. Su Yan had actually grown to such a level. What treasure did he take from the land of fortune? How can he be so powerful? The expressions of the geniuses from outside the domain changed. Su Yan's growth was too fast. He had destroyed more than a dozen great killing formations and forcibly suppressed the 9 extreme formation. This meant that Su Yan now had the combat strength of a peak expert of his generation. If he was given a few more years, he might really be able to catch up with Zhu Xing and the others. What? Han Tong was killed? What nonsense are you talking about? He was killed by Su Yan? How is that possible? Mizar Juzi's expression was very ugly. He kept asking. He didn't believe it. Yao Guang Juzi had already been suppressed by Su Yan. But now Han Tong was killed. Who gave him the courage? Some of the Big Dipper lineage's disciples were silent. They had witnessed Su Yan's rise. One of the 2 paragons of the Big Dipper lineage was suppressed and killed. Could it be concluded that Su Yan now had the strongest combat strength of the Big Dipper lineage's younger generation? Rumble! The entire Big Dipper city was filled with killing intent. It was like a raging wave that rushed into the sky. One after another, the Sky Prides were enraged, especially Zhu Xing and the others. They had spent a lot of effort to open the true dragon's lair. Now they didn't even know what the strongest creation was. Instead, they had benefited Su Yan. This worm. Zhu Xing's body was covered in a bloody light. He held the blood-colored halberd and roared, "Come out and face the law." He was like a blood-colored sun, blazing and terrifying. He was full of unparalleled ferocity. With the blood-colored halberd in one hand, he was like a blood-colored demon god. Everyone suddenly recalled Zhu Xing's arrogant words when he first stepped onto the Big Dipper. Zhu Xing's terrifying strength was unquestionable. He was a top-notch heaven's pride, and they were confident that they could even fight against a young supreme being. To everyone's surprise, Shueguan didn't say a word and returned to his new residence. Could it be that Shueguan will swallow his anger? God knows. I feel that this matter won't end so easily. Shueguan will definitely make a move. I wonder when the Big Dipper Palace will appear? The Big Dipper Palace has always been a rumor. The paragons from the outer realms came to the Big Dipper for the Big Dipper Palace. They came for the Big Dipper Fist, which used to be glorious in the past. There was a lot of discussion in the city. Some people had a premonition that the Big Dipper's great Tao was about to appear. When the time came, the older generation of experts would enter, and the younger generation would find it difficult to continue their conquest. At that time, the Big Dipper would be completely open and become a holy land for enlightenment. At that time, experts from all the major starfields would rush over to the Big Dipper to comprehend the Tao. After all, the era of the most powerful ancient star was about to awaken. This was especially important. To the older generation, the younger generation was still small fry. There was a saying in the cultivation world that everyone under the great Tao was an ant. Night fell. In the Big Dipper city, the moonlight was like water. The Milky Way scattered down, making the city solemn. The city gradually quieted down. Cultivators from all races were in seclusion, absorbing the power of the stars in the sky to strengthen their cultivation. However, in the latter half of the night, the Big Dipper city was no longer peaceful. Outside Shueguan's official residence, strands of purple divine light rushed out. This wasn't just one strand, but tens of thousands of strands. They pierced through the night sky and lit up the entire Big Dipper city. What's that? The cultivators in the city woke up and looked into the distance. Their expressions changed. In the residence, a huge purple formation platform was built. When it was awakening to its peak, it was as if a purple star was awakening. Saintess Ziwei sat cross-legged on the purple formation platform. Her body glowed, and her heavenly eye became infinitely terrifying. When the light shone on an eyeball, the eyeball became even more terrifying. It was surrounded by chaotic qi, and extremely terrifying divine fluctuations spread out. When the eyeball awakened, a shadow appeared. There was a figure standing in the eyeball. It was as if a god had traversed time and space to look down on the world. The eyeball of a god. The surrounding people were shocked. This is the eyeball of a god. It must be the eyeball of a crepe myrtle sect expert. Is Saintess Ziwei using the divine eye to search for Su Yan? The scene in the Big Dipper city appeared in Starry Sky Corner. This is bad. Xiao Wen and the others' expressions changed. Saintess Ziwei's relationship with Shuiguan is so good? Su Yan is in trouble. His hiding place will be found soon. What should we do? Kong Ao's expression changed. No matter how strong Su Yan was, he couldn't stop Shuiguan. From the looks of it, Shuiguan was ready to go to war and dig 3 feet into the ground to find Su Yan. Chapter 298. Is Saintess Ziwei so powerful that she can search for enemies in such a large area? Does she have such a method? Or is she a godly diviner? Some people did not believe it. You don't understand. Ziwei Heaven Eye can observe the stars and detect the unknown. This is a secret technique of Ziwei sect. Someone sighed and said, Su Yan is in big trouble. It's very likely that he will die. Shuiguan is serious this time. Yes, if Shuiguan really attacks, Su Yan's fate will be over. People saw some blood floating on the purple platform. Without a doubt, this was Su Yan's blood. Saintess Ziwei had to find something related to Su Yan before she could search for him. His blood was the best thing to do. She had collected a lot of it at the entrance of the true dragon's nest. The eyeball floating in front of her looked like it was splitting heaven and earth. There was an ancient god's phantom inside it. Because of the eyeball's uniqueness, the Big Dipper did not suppress the power of the eyeball. His blood is a bit special. Saintess Ziwei was surprised and said, Even the heaven eye can't see it clearly. I want to bring Su Yan's blood back and give it to the sect. Maybe we can find out what kind of constitution he has. If you find him, I can give you all his blood. Shuiguan replied with a domineering will. Saintess Ziwei nodded and sneered in her heart. Junior sister, don't blame me for being ruthless. The Heaven Eye began to search for Su Yan based on his aura. It would take some time, but no matter how slow it was, it would not take more than 3 days. This is big trouble. Where did brother Su Yan go? Wu Heng was worried. He wanted to tell Su Yan to leave quickly, but the core area was so big, where could he find him? Also, the silver passage was sealed again with prodigies guarding it. With Su Yan's strength, it was impossible for him to kill his way out. Wu Heng probably did not expect Su Yan to come to the Lightning Dominion again. He traversed all the way to the depths of the Lightning Dominion. What he saw made him stunned. The lightning in the Lightning Dominion was extremely rare. He sprinted into the Golden Lightning Domain and saw a golden bamboo. It was as if it had transformed into a lightning kingdom, suspended in the void. As it swallowed, a large amount of golden lightning was swallowed by the bamboo. The transformation of the bamboo was too astonishing. Tai Baokai squatted in the lightning field and laughed foolishly. Its situation was a little special. Its plump, furry body was rippling with waves of prehistoric ferocious airflow. It was very terrifying. Who is it? Tai Baokai turned his head and glared at Su Yan with panda eyes. His face darkened the moment he saw him. You brat, you really came at the right time. Hurry up and leave. I'll look for you after a while. Su Yan chuckled and quickly walked over. Now that the Tai Baokai was very close to the lightning pool, He would be able to enter the lightning pool very soon and take away the good fortune inside. Reincarnation pool. Tai Baokai, who had been following Su Yan, shuddered. He said excitedly, "Ha ha ha, so the reincarnation pool is here. I thought it would take some time to find it. The heavens are really helping me. With the help of the lightning liquid in the reincarnation pool, the era of my rise has arrived." Tai Baokai glanced at the rooster from the corner of his eyes and grinned. "Where did you get this game from? This rooster looks like it has mutated. I guess it contains a lot of essence blood. This beast god has been working so hard for so long and has already eaten a few pounds. Finally, I can make up for it." "You want to eat me?" Tai Baokai stared with his beady eyes and pointed at Tai Baokai with his wings. He screamed, "You are the rooster. Little bear, have you opened your eyes? I am the divine phoenix." "He is the Tai Baokai." Su Yan corrected him. "You are the Tai Baokai. I am the divine phoenix." The silver rooster corrected him and said angrily, "What are your eyes? Can't you see that I am the divine phoenix?" "What Tai Baokai?" Tai Baokai was angry. "Look, this big brother's eyes are still sharp. He understood after I pointed it out." The silver rooster put his wings behind his back and said proudly, "Big brother, come and pay your respects to the beast god. How can his surname be Tai?" Tai Baokai raised his big round head and said angrily, "This is an insult to this beast god. Change my surname immediately. With your character, you still want to be surnamed Tai? Stop embarrassing me." F***CKU. What's so great about having the surname Tai? It was a strong contrast. Tai Baokai was so angry that his face turned green and his comb trembled. He said angrily, "Beast god? I am the divine beast. You are just a bear. Don't pretend to be garlic here." As soon as Tai Baokai finished speaking, Tai Baokai waved his golden bamboo. Suddenly, a sky full of lightning struck down and struck the silver rooster. The silver rooster cried out miserably. Its skin and flesh were lacerated. Its whole body was charred black and smoke was coming out of it. Tai Baokai grabbed Tai Baokai and forced him to change his surname. He said that the rooster was too ugly and was a disgrace to him. He said that the Tai family would not allow such an ugly creature to exist. "Enough, Baokai, let it live." Su Yan asked, "Just now, I didn't have time to deal with you. Tell me, what is your relationship with the true dragon lair? What kind of forbidden secret technique do you have?" "We are in the same group. How can you treat me like this?" Tai Baokai was so angry that he was trembling. "Who gave you that?" "We are in the same group." The giant panda looked humiliated. It raised its big ears and said, "Don't insult me." F***CK. Tai Baokai was so angry, but he had no choice but to submit. He had no strength to resist. "How about this, let me go to the reincarnation pool to cultivate. I will tell you what you want to know." Tai Baokai said patiently, "I can even take you to the great immortal mountain for a stroll. Whether you can find the fortune or not will depend on your ability." Su Yan and Tai Baokai were moved. They immediately said in unison, "Don't even think about it. You have no share in the thunder liquid unless you take out a myriad heaven's divine art to trade." "You think myriad heaven's divine arts are cabbages?" Tai Baokai was about to look down on them when he saw Tai Baocai's fierce expression. He quickly changed his words. "I really don't have any myriad heaven's divine arts, but I know where they are." "Speak clearly, don't waste time." Su Yan scolded. "It's that brat called Shui Guan." Tai Baokai hesitated for a moment and said, "He has a myriad heaven's divine art. It is very likely the world-shaking initial fist." Su Yan's expression changed. He trained in the initial scripture, but Shui Guan had the initial fist? The initial fist originated from very ancient times. In the desolate era, it was considered an invincible divine art. Tai Baokai had his wings behind his back. He had the appearance of a peerless expert and said, The power of this divine art is unquestionable. The desolate era is millions of years ago, but people still talk about the initial fist. From this, one can see the influence of the initial fist. How strong is it? Tai Baokai felt that this guy was unreliable. It is more than terrifying. Tai Baokai said, the initial fist can be called the strongest divine art in history. I estimate that in this universe, there is no divine art that can suppress the sharpness of the initial fist. It can be called one of the strongest divine arts in history. One of the strongest divine arts in history? Su Yan was dazed for a moment. He said with some disbelief, "Do you know where the initial fist is?" The initial fist is the most domineering yang. Shui Guan has not mastered it yet. Otherwise, you all would not have been enough for him to kill. Tai Baokai suddenly sighed. The initial fist should be in the Ziwei segmentum. Unfortunately, I am too weak and have lost a lot of my power. I need to train in the reincarnation pool to make up for some of the losses and recover some of my lost memories. Su Yan's face twitched. After saying so much, there were no substantial clues. The Ziwei segmentum was bigger than the Big Dipper segmentum. Finding the inheritance that Shui Guan had obtained? That was too difficult. This damn chicken is up to no good. I think it is better to search his soul. Tai Baokai threatened. Tai Baokai staggered and fell to the ground. He crawled up and said angrily, I swear to the heavens that I am not lying. There is so much lightning liquid in the reincarnation pool. You will not be able to use it all. Seeing that they still did not believe him, Tai Baokai swore a vicious oath that he would be a chicken forever. He is a big rooster to begin with. Tai Baokai was dissatisfied. However, seeing Tai Baocai's clear and logical words, he could not help but believe him a little. Su Yan's eyes scanned the deepest part of the golden lightning region. There was very little danger here, but the lightning waterfall was still powerful. It was surrounded by a vast essence of the Tao of thunder that ran through the lightning pool. This ancient pool was sparkling and translucent, and it was filled with colorful lightning liquid. Because the lightning pool was filled, the lightning liquid overflowed. This overflowing lightning liquid was extraordinary. The golden lightning grass was nurtured from this lightning liquid. Su Yan sat cross-legged here to recover from his injuries and recover his losses. However, Su Yan's recovered Dharma power could not keep up with the speed of the human body's automatic conversion of Dharma power. His human body's treasures and divine power had been extracted. It was like layers of rare tonics that made the Dharma power in Su Yan's body grow stronger and stronger. However, this also caused Su Yan's human body treasures to weaken. Charge. If you continue like this, you will exhaust yourself to death. Tai Baokai could not help but say, the lightning liquid in this lightning pool is a supreme treasure suitable for breaking through. Its value is difficult to measure. Boom. Tai Baokai threw out the golden bamboo. This bamboo rapidly enlarged like a divine bamboo that reached the heavens. It was surrounded by golden lightning arcs and spewed out bolts of lightning. The bamboo stopped at the lightning waterfall and absorbed the immortal lightning in the lightning waterfall. It looked like the speed was too slow. The main reason was that the lightning waterfall was too big. It was very difficult to swallow the lightning produced by the lightning waterfall in a short period of time. I have a bad feeling. After stealing Shui Guan's good fortune, he will definitely not let it go. Su Yan had a feeling in his heart. He began to probe. Divine power surged in his body. With a whoosh, he pierced through the sky like a true dragon and charged towards the lightning waterfall. The lightning waterfall glowed. It was too powerful. It was as if it could split heaven and earth apart. Su Yan's true dragon secret technique was bombarded full of holes. Attack! Su Yan urged. Tai Baokai threw out the golden bamboo and it enlarged. It turned into a heavenly bamboo and swayed upwards. It was like a stairway to heaven and landed on the lightning pool. The bamboo was abnormally sturdy and indestructible. No matter how the lightning struck it, it was still powerful. It was blazing with light and was absorbing the lightning in the lightning waterfall. Tai Baokai originally wanted to use this method, but since time waits for no one, they could only forcefully break through. Su Yan stepped on the golden bamboo and began to run madly towards the lightning pool. While they were running, the lightning waterfall rumbled. Tens of millions of lightning surged and struck towards Su Yan and the others. Su Yan stood at the peak of his power. He circulated his body's strength and bombarded the lightning that was striking towards them. This was a cruel path. It was as if they were roaming the path of hell. Along the way, they encountered countless lightning strikes. They bitterly held on as they rushed towards the lightning pool. Kacha! Su Yan's bones were all broken. Even someone as powerful as his precious body was about to be hacked to pieces. The miser's entire body was smoking from the lightning strike. His claws grabbed onto Su Yan with all his might. He screamed miserably like a pig being slaughtered. It hurts so much. Hurry up. I can't hold on much longer. Every part of the path was extremely difficult. The sky was filled with lightning that submerged them. They slaughtered their way out of the blockade again and again. They were getting closer and closer to the lightning pool. Are they calculating my whereabouts? Su Yan felt something in his heart. It was as if he was exposed in time and space. It made his heart tremble. There wasn't much time left. He had to quickly rush over and obtain the natural luck. Kill your way over! Su Yan roared. His entire body was shining. The most terrifying power erupted from within his body. All of his potential was awakened, and he activated his most powerful attack. Big Dipper's 7-star fist. Su Yan's entire fist turned into a golden star. He fiercely smashed outwards and blasted open a black passage. He dragged his seriously injured body and rushed towards the lightning pool. He reached out his blood-soaked hand and grabbed a corner of the ancient pool. He fiercely crawled in.